Welcome to the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's. It's our season opener. We're live at Oak Creek as the Franklin Sabres take on the Chargers from Sussex Hamilton. Thanks for joining us. I am Mike McGivern with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, and this is the Sports Radio 1250 pregame show. I'm here with both head coaches, John D'Amato from Sussex Hamilton and Lewis Brown from Franklin. Lewis, let's start with you. A home game from Franklin, Oak Creek. A little bit different. What's going on?
We've got a lot of construction going on. We're putting in a new concession stand and bathrooms and a new parking lot, which none of them are ready right now. So it would have just been a mess over there. So I called Bart over here at Oak Creek and asked him if we can come over here, and thanks to him, we can.
You bet. That's pretty cool of Oak Creek. Coach, with you, no big deal where you play. With the rain today, though, this is a good surface to be playing on.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful venue. Oak Creek has done a great job with their facilities here, and we're looking forward to this contest tonight.
Hey, guys, in my promo on Sports Radio 1250, I talked about these two schools and teams being two of the best football programs in Southeast Wisconsin. I truly believe that. Whenever you talk Southeast Conference, Greater Metro, you always talk about your team somewhere near the top, and you're in that conversation. Talk a little bit about the program that you guys have put in place at Franklin, Coach. What makes it such a strong program?
I think it starts with our youth program. I've been there for 21 years. When I first started, we didn't have a youth program, and Tom Roboleski does a great job down there getting the kids prepared. They run our system, which is nice, and getting them prepared for the high school. I think that's the key. And then we've had a lot of coaches that have been around for a long time. That also helps.
Yeah, I agree with that. John, same question your way. Sussex Hamilton, what a great football program you guys have put in place. Talk a little bit about that.
I think it's pretty similar. As far as the youth program is concerned, you got to start there. We've had one intact with our 7th and 8th grade program for 7 years, and it's going strong. It's getting better. My coaching staff is outstanding. In my opinion, they're one of the best in the state, so I have the support there. The kids are outstanding. They're bought into the vision of the program and what we do, and then administration team has done an outstanding job getting teachers that also coach in the building.
Boys, there's something about openers. I really appreciate you guys being part of Thursday Night Lights for this opener. I'm going to cut you guys loose. On the other side of the break, I'm going to turn you over to John Weiser and Dick Basham for the calls and the keys to the game. This is Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's.
Welcome back to Oak Creek High School for the Season 4 opener of Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's with Hall of Fame football coach Dick Basham. John Weiser back with you for another season of exciting high school football. Tonight's a great matchup. Two teams that expect a challenge for their respective conference titles. Franklin out of the Southeast Conference, Sussex Hamilton out of the Greater Metro Conference. Teams with some similarities, Dick. 7-3 records, both made it into the level 2 of the playoffs last year, and some similarities that run a little bit deeper than just the records and the playoff appearances.
Well, that's true. First of all, they're both very well coached teams, but they're senior dominated on defense, which really is important, I think, especially early in the year, because defenses are sometimes ahead of offenses. But on the other hand, on the offensive lines, they're junior dominated. Each team only has one senior starting on the offensive line, but their big contrast is that one likes to throw the ball and one likes to run it. So we'll see who survives tonight.
It isn't often that you get a matchup where you've got the number one player at his position playing against the other team's number one player at his position, and that's what we have for you here tonight. We'll start first with Sussex Hamilton and Drew Patterson, maybe the best running back in the state of Wisconsin.
Drew's been, this will be his third year starting, and he's about 6 feet, 200 pounds. He's the fastest man on the team when he's healthy. He is coming off of a sprained ankle, but he looks pretty good in the warm-up tonight. He runs the 400 meters, anchored their 4x400 relay team. He's gained over 3,000 yards in the last 2 years, averaging 8 yards a carry, and has got 44 touchdowns. So he knows to know what to do with it when he gets it.
247 yards rushing last year in the victory over Franklin. But on the defensive side, they've got a stud there too in Tommy Deal.
Well, not only is he a very good football player, he's a very smart kid. He got a 35 on his ACT out of a perfect score of 36. He's in the top 5 in his class, and Coach John D'Amato says he's like having a coach on the field because he's very knowledgeable in what he does, but he's also knowledgeable in what everybody else does. He's being recruited by the Ivy League schools, obviously, and he's very quick and agile. He'll be important to rushing the passer tonight.
Watching Franklin tonight, you're going to see a stud at quarterback, the number 1 rated senior at quarterback, Sean McGuire. He looks every bit a quarterback.
Well, again, many think he's the best quarterback in the state, and Coach Lewis Brown says he may be the best quarterback they've had at Franklin, and they've had a long line of good quarterbacks. In the last 2 years, he's thrown for over 3,000 yards, has 200 completions, and has 25 touchdowns and only 14 interceptions, which is really pretty good. He's one of the team leaders. He's also a good student, and I think they'll go as far as he can take them.
The leader on defense is Jared Carroll. Talk about him.
Well, Jared Carroll is a 2-year starter. He's got a lot of speed. Coach Lewis Brown thinks he might be the best defensive back he's ever had. And he's also a team leader, and he doesn't want to be making a lot of tackles tonight unless it's up on the line of scrimmage.
Time now for our keys to the game, our matchup tonight between Sussex, Hamilton, and Franklin.
Well, for Hamilton, I think they need to pressure the quarterback and disrupt the pass offense. They need to minimize big plays on defense. Don't let them get out of long yardage situations. And then themselves, they need to control the ball and keep the game short.
And for Franklin tonight?
Well, for Franklin, they need to contain Drew Patterson. He's healthy, and I think he's going to run well. They need to play field position, keep him backed up, and then most of all, they need to protect their quarterback and give him a chance to throw.
We're ready to go. Season 4 of Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. The kickoff coming up next. A spectacular late August evening here tonight at Oak Creek High School as we get set for Season 4 of Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. We'll get things kicked off with our national anthem tonight, performed by Franklin High School student Olivia Burns.
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Olivia Burns out of Franklin High School with our national anthem here tonight as we get set for our season opener. The Sussex Hamilton Chargers out of the Greater Metro Conference taking on the Franklin Sabres out of the Southeast Conference. Beautiful night for football. Temperatures in the upper 60s here. The rain moved out. It's cleared off. It's going to be a great night for football. As we get a look at the starting lineup here, Hamilton will get the football to start our ball game here, and you get a look at their starting offensive line, and a good one.
Patrick, Friday, and Biswell, and they're a good solid group that if they're going to run the ball, these guys have got to do the job, and the only senior is Zach Gates. And the backs and receivers, Warza, Woodall, Glenn Dennings, the tight end, and Webb and Patterson are in the backfield along with Woodall. So that's a talented group. They've got some speed, and of course Patterson has speed, but he also has power.
Hamilton will get the football to start this contest in the white jerseys. Franklin in the all-black here tonight. Again, a home game here for Franklin. Their athletic or their school complex under construction, and so they've decided to work on an agreement here with Oak Creek to play their home game here tonight. They'll have 2 more road games next week at Glendale and then at Racine Horlick before returning home to take on Bradford in the Southeast Conference. A run up by Austin Manning, and the kick, it'll be a low line drive that will skip into the end zone. The automatic touchback in WIAA play as it skips off of the hands of Isaiah Webb, and so the Chargers will get it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Michael Barnes, a junior at quarterback. Very good athlete, also a 2-year starter in baseball. Was the backup quarterback a season ago. Will lead the Chargers out of the huddle. 1st and 10. Again, we thank First Bank Financial Center for being our first down sponsor on Thursday Night Lights. First Bank Financial Center, one bank, one resource. From the 20-yard line, they'll give it to Patterson. Struggles across the 22, out to the 23-yard line. Good job up front for Franklin, that starting front 8. Jake Harmon on the tackle, the nose guard for the Sabres, able to make the stop, gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 upcoming. This time ball is out, it's loose inside the 20, and Franklin appears to have it. The Sabres forcing a turnover on the second play from scrimmage. And who's at the bottom of that pile? Looks like Casey Davis perhaps recovered the ball, and it is Franklin football. So the first break of the ball game going the Sabre way as we take another look.
It'll be 1st and 10 on the Charger 15-yard line.
Davis out wrestling Webb for that loose football, so Franklin takes over on the Charger 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Franklin. Sean McGuire, the senior quarterback, out of shotgun. He's got Chad Walton back this season. We'll talk about that in a moment as Walton will try and run the sweep left side. He'll be brought down in the backfield and tackled for a loss. Garrett Miner, the senior linebacker that time, able to snuff that one out. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play thanks to Garrett Miner. As we mentioned, Walton back for his senior season. He missed all of last year with an ankle injury. An all-conference player his sophomore year. 2nd and 13. McGuire going to swing it out here to the near side. Walton with the catch across the 20, inside the 15, and wrestled down near the 11-yard line. Brett Bueller, a senior, the free safety there to make the stop for the Chargers.
Well, they got a key block from the wide receiver who came in and cracked on that, and might be able to see that here on the instant replay right there. Number 83, Nick Plath had a really nice block to really set that play up.
So 3rd and long now for the Sabres. Walton, the low man in the backfield. Quarterback draw McGuire trying to get to the right side inside the 10. Breaks a tackle down to the 8 and out of bounds near the 5-yard line where he is ushered out there. Close to a first down. McGuire on the quarterback draw that time. John Phillips, good to see him back for Sussex Hamilton there to make the stop. Missed last season because of a fractured vertebrae.
Yeah.
Suffered early in the season.
He's worked hard to get back, and you can see that McGuire doesn't make his living running, but he can run the ball. He's a big, strong kid, and certainly got to knock him down.
So it'll be a first down, 1st and goal here for the Franklin Sabres following the Casey Davis fumble recovery. Early here in the first quarter. Walton the single back. Receivers split left and right as McGuire will work from shotgun, rolls the tight end right side. Give us to Walton, spinning out of a tackle at the 5, spins down to the 3 before he is turned back there. Good defensive stop that time. Bueller again, the free safety, stepping up to make the play.
Bueller's made a couple of really good, important plays right now, and they had a couple guys with hands on him, and he came in and wrapped him up and knocked him for pretty much no gain. That was huge again. I think you have to be impressed with Hamilton's defense here. They are making some good plays. They took 3 downs to get that first down.
Gain of 1, 2nd and goal from the 4. Again, Walton the single back, McGuire from shotgun. Plath split out here to the right side. It'll be McGuire stepping to his left. Goal line, touchdown Franklin. So they get the 6 points via the turnover as McGuire will take it in himself for the 4-yard touchdown run. 6-0 Franklin.
Well, they got that edge sealed on the left side. Yes, the block by Vince Hughes, the junior who started all last year as a sophomore. 6'5", 235 pounds, and he's got great feet. He's a basketball player. He's got a lot of athletic ability. He was able to get some movement on that block, and all McGuire had to do is bounce outside.
Manning drills the point after, and it's 7-0 Franklin. 2.5 minutes into our contest. Again, the turnover, the key there. Casey Davis forcing the fumble as Patterson coughed the football up, and Davis able to recover at the 15-yard line. And the Sabres able to punch it in to the south end zone for the 7-0 lead.
Well, I think evidently the Franklin coaches upstairs saw something on the edge of that defense that they were able to exploit with the alignment that they have, and they got the first down with the quarterback running and got the touchdown with him going the other way.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the Chargers respond now.
Yeah.
You don't expect a team like Sussex Hamilton, who's challenged for the Greater Metro Conference title each of the last couple of years, to cough the football up early, and that's what they have done here, and find themselves down 7.
Well, those are the things that happen in first games, and as a coach, you know they can happen. You hope they don't. You hope you've covered everything, and that was good defense that caused that fumble. But they, again, as I said earlier, they have pretty much the rest of the game to recover from it, and that now is when it has to start.
Webb and Watkins deep. And it's going to drift to Watkins on the run across the 15 to the 20. Now cuts back to his right across the 25. Has a seam to the 30 and out to the 33-yard line before he is stopped there. Alec Jakubowski able to step in on special teams to make the play for Franklin, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Sussex Hamilton Chargers at their own 33-yard line. So we'll see how they respond here, trailing 7-0 following the turnover.
Well, that's a good start. I mean, the 34-yard line for your first play is much better than the 20-yard line and better than being backed up. And so I think that could spur them on, I think, here right now.
Patterson, the single back. Webb and McShane, the tails, and it'll go to Webb on the toss around the right side. Hole across the 35, out across to the 41-yard line before he is brought down there. Looks like Andy Savaka there to make the play. The defensive end on that side, the 6'5 senior for the Sabres.
Well, you can see that Webb has pretty good speed. He was in motion on a little toss play, but the fake to Patterson, and took advantage of his speed and was able to get outside.
Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd and 3 upcoming. Webb in motion, the give to Patterson. Big hole up the right side, gets the first down and more. Out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Jared Caro, who we featured in our pregame, there to make the stop.
Well, I think that play right there shows you the kind of talent that Drew Patterson has. A little stutter step coming into the line, slides to the right. Then he has some acceleration, puts his shoulder down, and gets extra 2 yards after getting hit.
Another first down for the Chargers. 1st and 10. They'll roll the quarterback Barnes out. Now he looks to throw left side, and it's incomplete looking for Webb, and it was broken up there that time by Kobe Nack. Kobe Nack, a 5'7 sophomore, able to make the defensive play for Franklin.
Well, I'm going to give credit to number 35, August Beck, who got in there and forced the quarterback to take a couple extra steps, and then he was late on his throw as a result of that, and that also contributed to the lack of success there for Hamilton.
Sets up 2nd and 10 for Hamilton at their own 47-yard line. Glendenning, the tight end, rolls to the right side. And this time they'll give it to Webb out of the tailback spot with Patterson lead block, and he gets into Franklin territory down to the Sabre 46-yard line. Good gain that time by Isaiah Webb, a 5'8 junior, with Patterson showing them the way.
Well, that was similar to the play they fumbled on in their first possession, and going to the right this time, unable to make the fake to the first man and give it to the second man. It was a nice gain.
Jake Fernandez making the tackle on the play, sets up 3rd and short.
Well, this is an important play right here. They need to get a first down and keep this drive going.
3rd and short here for Hamilton, and Patterson is going to be short.
Yep.
Just inside the 45-yard line, just a couple that time. Whole host of Sabres there. Beck was there, along with Savaka for the Sabres on the stop.
Well, they had that play pretty well sniffed out. You can see right there, first man through. Seemed to be pinching down to the inside with a lot of people, and there's not much room to run.
Ball on the 44-yard line, it'll be 4th and 2.
So Coach D'Amato appears to be playing field position here.
Now their quarterback is the punter, so they do have some options here, as you can see.
Well, they'll run that spread punt, too, which is an interesting. You'll see him run right, left, and then kick it, and he'll get it away here. And it takes a nice roll for the Chargers inside the 10 and a roll out of bounds just inside the 5-yard line. Playing the field position that time, a 39-yard punt that rolls out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That's actually a tough kick for a right-handed punter going to his left and then having to stop and right himself in order to get that kickoff. And it wasn't that far from being blocked, so they worked out very well for Hamilton. They got him backed up. Now they need to get a stop here and get the ball back in good field position.
Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern and Kara.
Hey guys, newest member of our team, Kara, welcome. It's good to see you. Jim Dalkey, District Manager for Wendy's. Jim, thanks a lot for being part of Thursday Night Lights again this year.
No problem. It's a great thing just to be involved with the high schools and the kids, and being a part of this is just great.
You bet.
And we also hear that you've got some great specials going on. Can you tell us about them?
Sure. We have a new it's a pretzel cheeseburger. It's off the charts. It's just go in and get one. You got to have one.
Hey, Jim, thank you so much. Kara, well done. Back to you boys up in the booth.
Mike and Kara, thank you very much. Nice run by Chad Walton, a 9-yard run brought down by Brett Bueller. Sets up 2nd and 1 here for Franklin. McGuire again will hand it off. And Walton again buries straight to the 15-yard line, close to a first down.
It'll be a Sabre first down.
And it is enough for a First Bank first down. Bryce Figueroa credited with the stop for Sussex Hamilton. We want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the TNL link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. That's my24milwaukee.com. 1st and 10. McGuire wants to air it out. Going over the middle, has a man there, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Nick Plath, the senior, and he was open.
Yeah, he was very open. The ball was a little underthrown. It looked like McGuire was a little bit on his back foot and just quite didn't get enough on it. But he did have inside position, and there was no help there in the middle of the field.
Plath at 5'11", 26 receptions last year, 4 of them for touchdowns for Franklin. 2nd and 10. Again, they'll spread him out, 4 receiver set. Walton alone back in the backfield. McGuire will roll out with time, plenty of time. All day to throw, going back over the middle, and it is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Well, Mark Ratcliffe was running right with him. It was a pretty good throw, but the defensive back had great position, and it would take a perfect throw in order to get that in there. But he did have a little bit too much time to get rid of that ball. They need to get some pressure on him.
Cal Roble, the intended receiver that time for the Sabres. So 3rd and 10 facing the Sabres here, and they're going to signal in the play. They'll go trips to the left side here. Single receiver to the right. Single back in the backfield for McGuire. Takes the snap. With time, going out to the flat, completes the pass. Wide open on a little swing out that time. Bueller in on the stop. The catch made by Robbie Bell, the 6'1 senior. Got into 2 games last year, had 2 receptions, so he's halfway to his season total from a year ago as we take another look.
Well, this is the beauty of their offense. They 2 incompletions on first down. They have 3rd and 10, and they get the first down with a 12-yard throw.
They'll work it from the far hash. Just under 6 minutes to go, first quarter, 7-0, Franklin leading off a Sussex-Hamilton fumble. As Walton around the left side with some running room. Walton to the boundary on the far sideline near the first down marker. Gain of about 9 on the play. Kelton Corcoran able to make the stop for Sussex-Hamilton.
Well, as you said earlier, it's good to have Chad Walton back as far as Franklin's concerned. He's probably the best athlete on their defense or on their offensive group, and he's a multifaceted player. Not only can he catch it and run, he can also run with it out of the backfield.
Yeah, broken ankle a year ago just before practice in August last season kept him out. As they'll run the option, Walton with some room across the 45 out to the 47-yard line. Another First Bank first down for the Sabres. Brett Bueller, a busy back so far tonight. That's his 5th tackle tonight for Sussex-Hamilton.
This is just a simple lead option. Block everybody except the defensive end. The quarterback runs at him, and when the end commits himself, he either keeps it or pitches it to the trailing back, and that's what they did. They pitched it.
McGuire with time, able to get it out. Man out there, and it is dropped incomplete. Had it for a moment and then lost it, did Plath. Bueller on the coverage, was with him, but the pass got there. It was on the hands of the receiver. Sean Cody also with the pressure.
Yeah, they did bring the corner blitz, and then Bueller came from center field to make that play because he was open when the ball was thrown, but he tracked it down and was able to break it up. You can see right there.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line. McGuire again going to swing it out. Far side, completes the pass. Plath with the catch, trying to get to that first down marker. Gets it across the 45 of the Hamilton Chargers. Cochran again able to make the stop. Very close to a first down here. And they're going to take a timeout, official timeout here to eyeball this one.
Well, what I am impressed by for Franklin right now is the timing in their offense.
Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Let me know when. Hey guys, listen to the Franklin coaching staff. Offensively, they're talking about picking up the tempo. They think that Sussex Hamilton's defense getting a little tired early in this game. Defensively, they keep talking about their pad levels. They've talked all offseason about keeping their pad levels down, really stressing that on the sidelines.
Well, another problem for Hamilton is Franklin has a big offensive line. And they are very good at pass protecting. That's how they make their living. And they're going to have to come up with some more stunts like they did a couple plays back, I think.
2 links shy of a first down. So 3rd and inches here from the Hamilton 43-yard line. Get the chain set on the far side of the field. They'll go trips here to the right side, single receiver to the left. Walton, the single back in the backfield for McGuire out of the gun. And the give is to Walton. Walton spinning his way forward, gets the first down to the 40-yard line. Second effort again by Chad Walton, the senior, able to get that first down, a first bank first down for Franklin.
Well, you're exactly right, John. That was a second effort right here. You see he gets hit right on the line of scrimmage right there, runs into his own man. Big Dan Bartles was in the way. He bounced off of that and was able to get 3 or 4 yards to get the first.
Noah Nagel in on the stop. 1st and 10. Franklin. McGuire all day. Coming back near side, and it is picked off. Good read by the defensive back. Jumped the route in front of the intended receiver. Bueller with the interception in front of Roble that time. Bueller with 5 tackles tonight and now a pick for the Chargers. We'll take a break. 7-0 Franklin leading midway through the first quarter. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's.
Anyway.
So far an impressive drive here by Franklin. They take advantage of a turnover, get their first score of the ball game, and this drive started back at their own 5-yard line, and they've driven it down into the purple zone this season, as we like to call it. The purple zone being brought to you by Kaplan University. Generally known as the red zone this season when a team reaches inside their opponent's 20-yard line. This will be known as the purple zone, and it's brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought. So the pick ends that drive for Franklin. Chargers off that first play following the timeout, get a couple of yards.
Well, Brent Bueller saved Hamilton in that defensive effort there on a couple of plays, and especially on that interception.
Barnes will roll out, looking to throw. Has some time, dumps it out. Man open was Webb, but it was underthrown. Pressure finally getting to Barnes and trying to lead Webb out down that far sideline.
Well, that play was well covered. They had 2 guys on the receiver he finally decided to throw to, and when you roll out like that, you cut the field down, it's easier to cover, and Franklin had it all stopped.
And an impressive drive, and there's no stopping Franklin. They stopped themselves on this last drive, but very impressive. Don't get rattled at 3rd and 10, and picked up a couple of first downs along the way on 3rd and long. Barnes again hands it off late and struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. May have actually lost a yard that time.
Well,
right on the carry that time by Alec McShane, one of the wingbacks here for Hamilton, and so 3 and out. And for the second time tonight, punting unit on here for the Chargers.
Yeah, right now the Franklin defensive line has been able to stand their ground. And they're playing 3-man up front with 5 linebackers. Hamilton has not been able to find any cracks or make any cracks in the defense.
Robbie Bell standing at midfield, awaiting the punt. Again, Barnes at quarterback also does the punting. It'll be a spread punt. You'll see him drift right or left. This time he's going to go to his right. Nearly blocked as he gets off a knuckling kick that will roll across the midfield stripe. And Hamilton will let it roll dead at the Sabre 46-yard line.
Well,
King of the Hill is coming to my 24. You can hang out with Hank Hill, his family, and all of his rowdy friends. My favorite is Boomhauer. Don't miss King of the Hill, weeknights at 5, starting September 16th, only on my 24.
Well, as I started to say, that punt was almost blocked, and I think the first one was very close to being blocked, too. They're playing with fire a little bit there, and they got some tall kids on that defense that could maybe get a hand on it.
3:15 remaining here in the first quarter, a 7-0 Franklin lead. They will start this drive at their own 45-yard line. McGuire from the gun. Twins right and left. He'll swing it out to the slot man here on the near side. Catch is made across the line of scrimmage out to the 47-yard line. Robbie Bell on the reception.
Yeah.
Kelton Cochran able to make the stop for Hamilton.
Well, we saw him practicing that. On Monday, we were at Hamilton's practice, and they were working against that pass. And that Kelton Corcoran did exactly what he was being taught, and went up and took on the blocker, and the runner had no place to go.
Gain of 2, second down. 8 upcoming here. Again, McGuire from the gun. Trips to the left side, and Walton will get the carry to the line of scrimmage, and he is hauled down. Hogtied that time. Bryce Figueroa, the senior, on the defensive end that time, able to wrestle Walton down.
Well, there's an important play again. If they can make them punt here, once they get this first down, they're starting to get close to that 4-down territory, and that makes it a little bit tougher to stop them.
3rd and a long 5 here for Franklin right at midfield. Again, trips left. It'll be a quarterback draw. McGuire will get the first down and more. Sean McGuire showing his running skills that time. Middle linebacker Noah Nagel finally there to bring him down, but McGuire with his feet able to pick up the first down.
Well, that's a play they've gone to twice before. Got him a touchdown and another important first down, and 3rd time's a charm. They did it again.
Again, he's got 8 touchdowns running the football in his starts as a high school quarterback. First bank, first down. We get our first penalty of the evening.
I think that'll cost Franklin 5, it looked like to me.
Be a false start penalty here. Gary Kufel, our referee tonight, 18th year as an official. Also works Division III college around the state. Kufel's crew here tonight, as you'll see right there. Movement up front. Moves them back 5. 1st and 15 for the Sabres. Again, trips left, single receiver right. Walton a single back in the backfield. He'll get the call. Walton picking his way across the right side, stacked up at the 45-yard line. Gets about 3 on the play. Austin Mitzel there to make the stop.
On the tackle for the Chargers.
Well, Mitchell got the stop, but Deal was in the backfield, and he's messed that play up, forced it back inside.
Chad Walton certainly showing no ill effects from that ankle injury a year ago. He's getting a workout here tonight running the football. Minute 10 to go here in this first quarter. A 7-0 Franklin lead, and now officials will stop play here.
Well, Walton played the baseball season, and was an all-conference baseball player.
Chargers are going to take a timeout here.
The Chargers.
But good athletes. We talked about it in the pregame, Dick. Yeah. Very senior dominated on both sides of the field here tonight between Franklin and Sussex Hamilton. I think we were talking with Lewis Brown the other day at practice. 30 seniors out for Franklin, one of the largest senior class that he has had in quite some time, maybe in the entire history of Franklin football.
And both teams have several players that are also good athletes in other sports, especially basketball. Some baseball players, a few track runners. Hamilton has really strengthened their track program over the year. Their head track coach is also an assistant football coach, so they get a lot of crossover there in the spring. And it really pays off when those guys get out and work on their running and learn how to run, learn how to compete.
Mike McGivern, our sideline reporter, busy tonight. What do you have?
Listen to Sussex Hamilton coaches. Drew Patterson, they're still taking it easy with him. And on the Franklin side, defensive line's really controlling the offensive line. Sussex Hamilton, they continue to do that. Going to be tough for the Chargers.
Second and long here for Franklin. Thank you, Mike. McGuire over the middle, man wide open. 25-20 inside the 20 and wrestled down at the 16-yard line. Chad Walton on the reception. John Phillips able to bring him down, but a huge gain right up the gut, right through the seam.
Well, and Hamilton had a blitz on, and they took somebody out of the middle on the blitz. They had the right play called, and that's it. Walton is the back out of the backfield. He's like the fourth or fifth man out, and he's the guy that's hard to cover, especially when you vacate something. And that was a good call, good and very good execution.
The purple zone. That's where we're at, presented by Kaplan University. As they'll swing it out, the little bubble screen that time on the reception by Bell. He'll take it inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Brett Bueller able to angle him out that time, preventing the touchdown.
Well, Bueller saved him again, but that was a well-executed play and an excellent block on the outside.
So this will be first and goal. Another first bank first down here for Franklin. Their second trip into the purple zone here tonight. 7-0 lead, looking to add to it. Walton a single back. Tight end in motion. McGuire wants to throw. Looks right, now scrambles left. Breaks down. Gets back to the 6-yard line before he is driven back there. Tough to throw. The receivers recovered.
McGuire brought down.
Ben Konoski there to make the stop.
Well, they brought Franklin brought in Chad Canoe from their defense. He's a defensive end, 6'6" senior. Brought him in at tight end and snuck him across the formation, but he couldn't get across there fast enough in order to get open. McGuire had to bring it down and run.
Final seconds here of this first quarter is McGuire again from the gun will roll right. Has some time, looks to throw back of the end zone, leaping attempt. It goes incomplete.
Well, Bueller had him covered very well. There was very little room to throw it, and it had to be a perfect throw.
Bueller has been busy here tonight.
Yeah,
he's been the workhorse in that secondary for the Chargers as we get another look here.
He's the difference in the game for Hamilton right now that they're not down by more.
Plath, the intended receiver on that play. Sets up third and goal. And Walton a single back. On a draw. Walton stumbles inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line, and that will end our first quarter here in Oak Creek tonight. Franklin and Sussex Hamilton, Season 4 opener of Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. The Sabres leading the Chargers 7-0. (7-0) Franklin on top of Sussex Hamilton. 4th and goal for Franklin here to start our second quarter. And the field goal unit on. Austin Manning on to attempt what will be a 21-yard field goal. It is on the way, and it is good. Just inside the right upright. Good snap by Jakubowski. Alec Jakubowski on the snap, and Michael Kuski on the hold, and Manning able to drill it through. So a 10-0 Franklin lead as they take advantage of the short punt out to the 45-yard line. And I'll tell you, give the Charger defense some credit there as they were facing a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line, and they were able to force the field goal here, and Franklin able to settle for 3 points.
Well, certainly Hamilton hasn't had much luck yet. I think you could say that Franklin's had a little bit more luck early and has taken advantage of it, and that's part of the game. But down by 10 is not impossible to overcome. I think Franklin wanted to check their field goal kicker out and give him a chance to kick one.
I want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available streaming live online. All you have to do is log on to my24milwaukee.com, click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You'll also find complete game videos, photos from this season's game. As a matter of fact, I think Paulie's already got photos posted from tonight's game out there already. That's my24milwaukee.com. Run up and the kick, Watkins out to the 20, stutter steps to the 25 and out near the 30-yard line. Nice return.
Kick return by Watkins.
Will Watkins, a 6'1 junior, able to return it out to the 30-yard line. Sal Kalla able to make the tackle on special teams for the Sabres.
Well, that was a good return, and they've got a good field position again. They need to make something happen here and get back in the game offensively.
First bank, first down, 1st and 10 here for the Chargers at their own 30-yard line. Barnes will work in under center. Patterson, the fullback. They send the wingback in motion. It's Patterson. Big hole. Left side. Look out. Dump truck on the run. And he will get out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Boy, he gets downhill in a hurry. Drew Patterson showing no ill effects of an early ankle injury early in camp, but that is a runaway dump truck going the left side.
20-yard line.
Well, that was right off the left side, and you can see he's run. And the tackler, that was Jared Carroll, had a little bit of an angle on him, was able to catch him. They both have good speed.
49-yard romp that time as the give is to the wingman coming around. Alec McShane takes it inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. Mike Kuski there to make the stop. The purple zone being brought to you by Kaplan University, generally known as the red zone. Again, this season, a team reaches inside their opponent's 20-yard line. We're going to call it the purple zone, brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought.
Well, this is good. Now they're in 4-down territory. In theory, they have 3 downs here to get that first down if they want to do it that way.
They'll toss it to Webb, who is coming in motion. Webb trying to get the edge on the right side. He'll be brought down for a short gain. Good chase down that time as Isaiah Webb, the carry coming out of that left wing position. Bell and Carroll were there defensively for Franklin.
Pretty much a student body right, as you can see, and Franklin moved well.
It'll be 3rd and 4 on the Sabre 14-yard line.
Nice job there to track him down. Webb coming out of that left wing slot. So 3rd and short here, 3rd and 4 we'll call it for the Chargers. They'll pitch to Patterson. Patterson met in the backfield and dropped. Who got that first penetration? Look at one of the linemen upfield.
Kobe Knack was there right away. And he blew that play up, and there wasn't much that Drew Patterson can do about it. You see right here, number 42
beat
comes
the pulling
in there,
guard.
takes that blocker out, and then Eric Wimmer came in and cleaned it up.
That's some quicks there when you can beat the pulling guard to the hole and knock that whole play off. They're going to attempt a field goal here for the Chargers. Middle of the field, it will be a 33-yard attempt.
Well, he can make this. I saw him make it from about 40 yards at
Harvestine, and now we got a timeout taken by the Chargers. They were short one player, and that happens in game one more often than not. Your special teams and trying to get that. So Hamilton will take a timeout. John D'Amato will talk things over with his special teamers, but Brett Harvestine is the place kicker here for the Chargers and is going to be facing a 33-yard field goal with little to no wind here tonight.
Well, he's capable of making this. He made it easily in the warm-up. Of course, there's no rush in the warm-up and that type of thing, but he certainly is capable of kicking it that far.
Franklin with a 10-0 lead, an early field goal here to start this second. We'll send it downstairs. Kara has an interview for us.
Hi there, I'm Kara from Milwaukee's My 24, and I'm standing here with Superintendent of Franklin Public Schools, Dr. Steve Patz. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Things are opening up real well for us for the start of the season, so we're pretty excited.
That's great. And from what I understand, you guys have a referendum going on at Franklin. Can you tell me a bit about it?
We do. Our community supported a referendum for us to build a new performing arts center and to make some improvements at our high school. Along with that, we have another project going at our athletic facilities, and that's the reason we're here tonight, and Oak Creek has been gracious enough to help us out. So we're excited with the new improvements we're making. It's going to be a phased-in approach where we've got a lot going on, but in the end, I think we're going to be very, very happy with the outcome.
Good. Glad to hear. Back to you, John.
Kara, thank you very much. New member of our My 24 team here tonight for Thursday Night Lights. We thank Kara for joining our group here this evening as a 32-yard field goal by Brett Harvestine off the snap from Garrett Miner and the hold by Michael Barnes, and the Chargers on the board trail it now 10-3. So needed some points on that drive just to get back into this ballgame, get a little bit more confidence going on that offense for the Chargers.
Well, he made that kick with fairly easily, and so I think they get to the 30-yard line, 25-yard line, they have a chance to get a field goal. They need more than that now to make up for that early touchdown they gave up.
Jared Carroll will drop back as one of the deep men here on this kick return unit, along with Giovanni Flores, both standing inside the 10-yard line awaiting the kick. So Harvestine, a 32-yard field goal, and the Chargers down 7 here. Run up by Harvestine. He'll drill this one away, and it's going to go out of bounds. Not what you wanted there. The kickoff was set to go left, but
Kick out of bounds.
looked like my 3-iron the other day on the golf course going left all the way. Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, 2 years ago we did a game with Franklin. Sean McGuire was a sophomore. I stood on the sidelines. As the coaches talked, he listened. He's a senior now. He's not listening. He's the guy. He's coaching. He's talking to the coaches, talking to his players. He's in charge of that offense. I got to tell you, it's nice to see a sophomore as he grows to be a senior.
Absolutely. He's got all the tools, Mike. He's one of those, and Dick, you and I, we talked about it. He's got all the tools. We've been told Lewis Brown is impressed because he can make all the throws, and it's just a matter of keeping him healthy and staying healthy through this senior year. He's got some offers at the D1 level. McGuire from the shotgun. Pump fakes once left, now comes back right side, down the far sideline, back shoulder throw, and catch is made at the 30-yard line and out of bounds. Excellent execution there. Nick Plath on the back shoulder catch in front of John Phillips, able to haul it in for a huge gain, and the Sabres in business in the Charger territory.
Well, John Phillips was actually in good position. He just didn't know where the ball was, so he couldn't play it. And the receiver made a great play on a ball that was thrown behind him a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's what happened.
McGuire rolling left. Sets up plenty of time over the middle. Man there. Catch made. Touchdown, Franklin.
Well, Mark
Plath with the touchdown reception. He had 4 of them a year ago. Picks up number 1 here tonight. And it's a 16-3 Franklin lead.
Well, he got behind the defense, and Mark Radcliffe got turned around and couldn't find the ball again. And McGuire shows what kind of arm he's got. We're giving McGuire a lot of love here, but he's got a lot of good players playing with him, and especially the receiving corps. They're all very capable. They run well. They got some length to them, and that's starting to show up and make a little bit of difference here.
Jakubowski's snap back to Kuski. The kick is on the way, and it is good. Just under 9.5 minutes remaining here in this second quarter. A 17-3 Franklin lead. On a beautiful 31-yard strike from McGuire to Plath.
Well, one of our keys of the game was that they had to minimize the big plays, and that just here in the last few minutes they haven't been able to do that, and that's got them in a little bit of trouble now. They need to take the ball and go down and stick it in the end zone and neutralize that last touchdown.
So 2 plays, 80 yards, the 31-yard reception by Nick Plath. And again, we talked about it in the pregame too with McGuire, the ability, anytime you've got a 2-to-1 ratio touchdown interceptions, you're doing something very well. And coming into the game here tonight, 25 touchdown passes and 14 interceptions in the last 2 years. And that's strike number 1 here tonight, the beautiful pass over the middle of Plath.
Right.
So the Chargers once again facing a 2-score deficit.
Hamilton's a little bit shook up here, I think, but they're well coached. I think if they can get an offensive drive going here, they'll going to get their mojo back. Now that won't help them. Though.
Through the hands of Webb, it'll stay in play. Picks it up at the 3. Sidesteps the man to the 10, out across the 15, out to the 19-yard line.
Well, when you have lemons make lemonade, that's about what he did there.
Exactly right. Isaiah Webb able to make something out of that ball going through his hands, able to get it back out near the 20-yard line, and the Chargers will have it there. Jakubowski getting downfield to make the stop for Franklin.
I don't think he lost it in the lights. It was a low kick. He just didn't handle it.
Barnes will work in under center. Patterson, the fullback. They'll roll a tight end over to the left side. Take the tailback in motion to give to Patterson over the left side across the 20 out to the 23-yard line.
Patterson on the carry.
Drew Patterson, 247 yards and a touchdown in last year's ball game up at Grove Field in Sussex in that 31-21 victory over Franklin in the season opener a year ago.
Well, I'm sure that Franklin's been watching that tape a little bit. They're going to make sure that doesn't happen again, although they did have that long run.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 upcoming. And they'll toss it to Patterson left side with some room across the 25. Bulls his way forward across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. About 8 on the play. Fernandez in on the stop, but that was all Drew Patterson.
One of the things that separates good backs from great backs and average backs, whatever, is what happens after they get hit. And Drew Patterson gets yardage, yaks, as they say, yards after contact, and that one there he got about 4 yards.
First bank first down for the Chargers just across their own 30-yard line, and Barnes wants to throw. Pressure from behind, delivers to the catch is made, and on the run here on the near side is Ryan Warzon. Warzon, the split end, all the way out to midfield, and a first down for the Chargers. As we take another look here, Warzon with some running room. Kobe Knack there to make the stop.
Well, Warzon was lined up way on the outside. He came to the inside. It's kind of a version of what's called the rocket screen. And he came inside, they set the blocking up like a punt return, and he just ran up the middle.
It's actually Casey Davis in on the stop that time for Franklin. Gain of 22 and a first bank first down out at the 47-yard line. Play action. Barnes wants to air it out, going over the middle. There. Man is wide open, but he's overthrown. Incomplete. Chris Whittle, the receiver, had broken clear at the 20-yard line, and the pass overthrown by Barnes.
Well, that was a good play call, and he was very open. Again, a little bit of an inexperienced quarterback. Has not started a lot. He played quite a bit last year. They had several games where they had a running clock, and so he did get in, but he didn't throw a lot of passes last year.
If you like Family Guy, you'll love the Cleveland Show. There'll be good times, bad times, and even a bear. Don't miss Mustached Face. It's the Cleveland Show. Weeknights at 5:30 starting September 16th only on My 24. Patterson able to take it up the middle, inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line. Eric Wimmer with the tackle for Franklin.
Third and a couple.
Nothing fancy about that play. Good blocking on the right-hand side. Got Mike Fried over there and Brad Bidwell. Patrick Jean, the center. Got some good movement, and Patterson took advantage of it.
Third, we'll call it 2, just inside the 40. Patterson with the call, struggles, second effort, first down.
I think you got it on that second effort right there.
Second effort at the line of scrimmage as he was able to leap forward. Jake Fernandez brought him down by the shoelaces that time.
That's just what I said. The difference is with the yards they get after they get hit. Some guys go down and they get hit. Some guys don't buy into that.
Not only is he fast, Dick, he's strong.
Yes.
He had one of the fastest times on the track team, and but a 500-pound squat for a running back as well is pretty darn good.
Well, there's a 5-yarder. He's got good bloodlines. His brother John was a very good back a few years ago at Hamilton. I think he's at Whitewater last I heard. I'm not know if he's still there or not. I would hope he is. But he was a very good running back as well. And John was a little bit taller and leaner, and Drew was a little more stout.
False start penalty on the Chargers will move them back 5. Ball moved out to the 41-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 15. 6:51 to go here, second quarter. Franklin up 2 scores. Barnes looking to the sideline here as he will get the play call. He'll call it at the line of scrimmage. Patterson, the single back.
Waiting to reset the clock here. I think they ran some time off.
So they can reset the clock, it looks like. And a great night for football here tonight. We had all that rain this morning that moved through, but can't ask for a better evening here for late August.
There's a really nice crowd, too. Franklin has a lot of people here, and even Hamilton has a nice crowd coming all the way from the far west side out there.
Yeah, we ran into somebody from Lake Mills coming all the way in the parking lot here tonight. Grandparent here to watch one of their watch her grandson play here tonight.
Well, Coach Kelly, our spotter, lived in Lake Mills for quite a while and probably knows everybody out there, as far as I know.
Taught a little bit out there, from what I understand, too. 1st and 15. And they'll try and work the middle, and Franklin was ready for that play as Patterson struggled to get maybe 2 out of that play. Andy Savaka there, the defensive end, to make the tackle for the Sabres.
Well, Hamilton's worked themselves into a little bit of trouble now. They got 2nd and 11. They need to come up with a play that can get them at least 5-6 yards here minimum.
Second and long. Single back is Patterson. They'll bring a man in motion. Fake to Patterson. Barnes.
There you go.
It's a nice play out of it. Inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line.
Well, that's the option.
Fernandez was there, it looked like, for Franklin, along with Beck, August Beck.
See here, he fakes the ball to Patterson, keeps it, turns up because nobody tackles him, turns up the field and runs as far as you can. So that sounds simple, but it's not that easy.
Right on cue. You said they needed to get something manageable here. Now they're facing a 3rd and 4 as we go under 6 minutes to play here in this first half. Patterson breaks out of one tackle, dives forward near the 25-yard line. I believe he did get the first down. That football nosed across the 25-yard line. Knack was there once again.
It'll be a Charger first down.
And it will be enough for another first bank first down for the Chargers. An impressive drive here following the touchdown by Franklin. Chargers coming right back and moving the football deep into Franklin territory.
Well, their offensive line is starting to get a little bit of control up front, and Patterson, of course, has got a really good eye and finds the holes really well and takes advantage of them. There he is again. He just keeps bouncing. You see that first guy hit him with a 2-yard gain, and he ends up with about a 5-yard gain.
Patterson on the carry. Gain of about 5.
Another 5-yard pickup for Drew Patterson. Rushed for just under 2,000 yards a season ago. Eric Wimmer there to make the tackle for the Sabres. 1,969 yards last season, 26 touchdowns. Also hauled in 13 catches and 1 touchdown last season as well. McShane in motion. They'll come right back with Patterson again inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line is Patterson. Fernandez and Caro there to make the tackle as we hit the Kaplan University purple zone once again.
Third down.
Well, that particular alignment, Patterson lined up probably about 2 yards deeper than he normally does. That might be a little bit of a tip-off there. The defense might have sniffed out that he does that when he's going to run wide.
Strong side right. Wingman in motion to the left. Barnes wants to throw. Looks right, comes back, bubble screen left side. Catch is made inside the 10, down inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. Chris Woodall with his second reception tonight, the 6'1 senior for the Chargers. August Beck with the stop.
Hamilton's done a good job of mixing up just enough passes here to keep him off balance. Defensive line might be getting a little tired for Franklin. He hasn't been on the field that long tonight.
It's time we get our first look at the true wishbone here. And now timeout.
Timeout Franklin.
Chargers.
Timeout.
Oh, no.
Hamilton will take the timeout. 3:55 remaining first half. Franklin leading Sussex Hamilton 17-3. You're watching Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Sabres up 14 on Sussex Hamilton, but the Chargers driving. They've pushed it inside the 15-yard line. Hamilton out of timeouts as they took their third timeout here. Patterson tonight just shy of 100 yards rushing.
That's a good half.
On the Sabre, 12-yard line.
Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey, real quick, Franklin coaches think the counter's coming in the next 2 plays. Here it comes.
Patterson bouncing to the outside inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. Alec Jakubowski, the corner on that right side, able to make the stop.
Well, they lined up in a power eye that time, and then Patterson just bounced it to the outside. Now they're lined up the other way.
Called at the line of scrimmage. Barnes turns, gives to Patterson. Gets to the 5, and that's about it.
Well, they've got everybody packed in there nice and tight.
They're setting something up for maybe something
I think
wide here.
Setting up with possibly a play-action pass, quarterback keeper. An official's timeout.
Official timeout. We've got a Hamilton player down, so a timeout on the field. You know, for scores and updates from all the key high school football games in the area, you can tune into the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. Join our own Mike McGivern and High School Hall of Fame coach Ron Davies. That's Friday nights at 7, only on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP.
That's
Patrick Jean,
the center.
A little cramping issue. We figured we would see a little bit of that tonight. Yep. I know how much you coaches stress drinking fluids, drinking water, and carry that bottle of water with you every day for the last 3 weeks. And
Well, that's what you tell your trainer and your team managers to do when they come off. Don't take no for an answer. They have to drink water, you know. Not saying that he hasn't been, but right now he does have a little cramping problem.
Impressive drive here for Hamilton, falling
drive.
behind by 14 and then nearly muffing that kickoff off the touchdown,
Right.
but starting this drive just inside their own 20 and facing a critical third down here. And you notice something, they were kind of running that play up the middle real tight. You think they may be setting up, as you said, some perhaps play action or trying to get something wide here?
Well, I think that based on what I saw there was 22 guys within 5-6 yards of each other. That means there's a lot of green out there that's not being covered right now if you can break somebody out. They're tight. Hamilton's tight end is not a real big. It's only about 6 feet, 100, and John Glendenning 6'1", 211. He may not be able to get out. They got some big guys in there banging around. So if they can get a back out of the backfield or a split end coming across. But on the other hand, you got 2 downs yet to get a first down. You got Drew Patterson in the backfield.
It'll be third and
Patrick Jean.
Might go to him.
Patrick Jean being helped off to the sideline. That's the junior center. So a new center in here now and a key third down play here.
That looks like more than a cramp to me. I think he might have turned it a little bit. So now I wonder about the exchange because you have a new center in there.
Power I formation. They'll give to Patterson. Working the right side. Breaks a tackle. Still on his feet to the goal line. Touchdown, Chargers.
And that's why he's one of the better backs around right there.
Patterson stepped out of 2 different tackles, got his way and fought his way down inside the one and broke the plane for the touchdown. Let's get another look here at this power run by Patterson.
You got two extra blockers in there. You get Eric Wimmer in the backfield, but he couldn't hang on to him. Breaks that tackle, puts his shoulder down, breaks another one right there. That's Jared Carroll. And he gets the ball over the goal line, and that's all you have to do, break the plane.
The extra point, no good. Harvestine missing to the left. That could be a key here late as it's a 17-9 Sabre lead here with just under 3 minutes remaining here in this first half. But an impressive drive and the impressive touchdown run here by Drew Patterson, the 6-foot senior, able to bull his way into the end zone for the score.
This is a really key series for Hamilton's defense because if they need to keep Franklin out of the end zone because Franklin gets the second half kickoff. They're going to get the ball 2 times in a row here. If they're able to score twice in a row, that could put the game a little bit out of reach because Hamilton's not a real come from behind team. They don't have that kind of a passing game.
Once again, we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Sussex Hamilton coach is really happy with that drive. Concerned a little bit at halftime with Patterson getting a little stiff, but feeling good about how he ran on that last drive, getting lathered up a little bit. There's a few more smiles on the Hamilton sidelines.
Yeah, anytime you can get a late touchdown drive like this and march it to 81 yards and get the score here, and now you can put your defense to work. As you said, this is a key drive defensively now for Sussex Hamilton. Keep Franklin from getting a score here late.
Their defense is rested, too, because they've been off the field for about the last 20 minutes of running time.
They'll pick up that bouncing kick out across the 20-yard line.
Kick fielded by Flores.
Flores, I believe, on the reception that time.
13-yard return. The Sabres will begin on their own 25-yard line.
13-play, 80-yard drive consumed nearly 7 minutes of time. And it was Patterson on the 6-yard touchdown run as you get a shot at head coach John D'Amato, the dean of the Greater Metro Conference coaches. Just his 10th year.
10th year in the league. Tom Swiddle at Brookfield East has coached longer, but not as long in the league.
McGuire going to run a little option. He'll pitch it back. Getting to the far sideline is Walton. Out across the 30, out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Well, Franklin's not going to crawl in a shell, that's for sure. Another thing I liked about what I've seen with Franklin is their wide receivers are good blockers.
Cochran able to shove Walton out of bounds. Walton's been impressive tonight, too. He's a kid, again, broken ankle, missed all of last year, and has come back with vengeance here tonight. He's been the workhorse runner out of that single backfield for Franklin here tonight when they have run the football. 2nd and short. McGuire with time, fires it over the middle, sliding catch. Did he make it? Yes, he did. It'll be a reception just across midfield. Nice diving reception. Meyer with the catch. Austin Meyer, a 5'10 senior, slid into second base safely with that football catch.
See this? Yes, he did. That was he did exactly what he needed to do. It's a low throw. You go down and give your body up and get your hands on the ball.
Swing it out here again. Meyer again with the reception. 2 straight receptions from McGuire to Meyer. Bueller on the stop, gain of 6 on the play.
This is
Franklin.
this is exactly what Franklin's good at. I mean, they're a 2-minute offense all the time, so this is nothing for them.
This time McGuire will roll right. Wants to throw right. Goes to the deep receiver. It is incomplete.
Yeah, Bueller had him
for the tight end.
Yeah, that's a tough throw on the run.
Bueller again in coverage. So Brett Bueller being picked on tonight, but he's been up to the challenge, the 6'1 senior. 7 tackles tonight. Also has a pick earlier in this first half.
Well, he's very good. He's a free safety. Plays primarily in the middle of the field, but he's very capable. He's a rangy kid who runs really well.
A run trips to the right side here on 3rd down and 4. Walton a single back. McGuire with pressure, delivers, juggled, caught at the 32-yard line.
Good timing on that again.
Plath with a nice catch. Cochran with the stop. It'll be enough for a Sabre first bank first down at the 31-yard line.
Well, they had the trips out on the wide side of the field, and they went with the one-on-one setup they had over here on the short side. And the defensive back is giving him quite a bit of room here. Doesn't want anybody to go deep, and they were able to throw it in front of him.
Then trips right. McGuire looking right. Ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage and batted away, incomplete. Nice job. Bryce Figueroa got his right hand on that to knock it down for the pass defense that time for the Chargers.
Yeah, 6'3 senior. That's a big play at this point in time.
We take another look.
Just gets his big paw up right there. Tips it up in the air. Fortunately for Franklin, there was nobody in the area to pick it off.
Timed his leap perfectly. Get that left hand on it. 2nd and 10. They'll run a little option. McGuire lost the football. It is on the ground, and they dive for it near the 38-yard line. Figueroa forcing the fumble on McGuire.
Looked like number 56, Austin Model, might have got that.
And Franklin's going to retain possession here.
Took it back. Wow.
Recovered by the Sabres.
2 Hamilton guys were on it, and they just couldn't pull it in and control it.
But credit Bryce Figueroa, back-to-back plays, batted that first pass out of the air, and we'll see here forcing the fumble by McGuire.
Right here. Very nice play.
Just reaches right in. And
right there through the hands there. That
one of the linemen.
There's Model coming in there. I thought he had it in his hands, but evidently not. Here we go. Look at that defense right there. That's 2-man rush.
2-9. Yeah, they're going to drop 9 back.
Quarterback draw. That's the play that does it right there.
But he's not going to get the first down as McGuire will take it inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. And once again, Brett Bueller in on the stop.
He's having a great game. You don't like it when your free safety is making a lot of tackles, but if he doesn't make them, they're 7 points.
Now let's see. Franklin has all of their timeouts remaining. They might just take this clock down as far as they can. Facing 4th down and looks like about 6 here. And they'll take the timeout right here. Stopping play with 41 seconds to go here in the half. So Franklin will take their first timeout here as Coach Lewis Brown will get his troops together.
Well, it's been this has been kind of a tennis match here now, going back and forth here the last half of the second quarter. And I think Hamilton has settled down a little bit on defense, and they've been able to, their offensive line was able to get control of Franklin's defense. And it's playing out a little bit more the way I kind of thought it would go. We'll see what happens in the second half. It's really important, I think, that Hamilton doesn't give up a score here in the last 41 seconds.
I wanted to mention, you've been watching the sideline and in the stands here tonight, you see the coaches and fans wearing the turquoise shirts and the players all wearing the turquoise socks here tonight, and that's in support of cancer, and in the fight against cancer, Andy Savaka, his mother Annette, diagnosed with cancer earlier this year, and fighting a battle at home. And I know she's watching at home, and that's the team rallying around one of its players, and Andy Savaka and his parents.
We wish her the best too.
Absolutely. You see Walton's numbers here tonight: 11 carries, 48 yards, 2 catches for 38. 4th and 6. McGuire going to throw, and it's a low toss, and it's incomplete as it skipped into the receiver's hands off the turf. So it'll be incomplete, and the Chargers will take over at their own 27-yard line. So big defensive stop here for Sussex Hamilton.
Yeah, that's huge. 2 good things have happened now for Hamilton here in the last half of this quarter. They've went down and scored, and then they got to stop here when they needed to at the end of this half, because they're going to have to kick off to start the second half.
Well, we'll see if D'Amato,
I
what he likes to do.
wouldn't expect that he will try anything too crazy, but I've been wrong before. We'll see.
You just give it to Patterson and have him run through that line. Barnes will line up under center. Patterson, the single back. Wing slid up to the right. Patterson will get the call. He'll shuffle forward out to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 3.
For about 3. Second down.
Andy Savaka, who we just mentioned, in on the stop for Franklin. Again,
I don't think they're going to do anything here. Maybe let it run down, in fact.
I think they might just head to the locker room right here, and that's exactly what's going to happen here as the first half will come to an end. We're in Oak Creek tonight. Again, Franklin, a home game for Franklin as their school complex under construction, parking lot and concession stand and whatnot. So they worked on an agreement to play their home game here at Oak Creek, and we played one half here in Oak Creek. Franklin with an 8-point lead over Sussex Hamilton. 17-9 your score as we head into the half. You're watching Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's on My 24. My 24's Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's halftime report is sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. And to the sidelines we go, Mr. Mike McGivern.
57 or she's east of that.
She's east of that. Is she near downtown?
Right by downtown.
Oh, that's main drag is Washington Avenue.
Here we go. Here we go.
Uh-oh, we're short here.
Here, switch.
17-9, Sabres lead here at the half as we have our halftime report brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. We're getting set up. Bobby Simpson, our state trooper here tonight, gets set to talk to us about Zero in Wisconsin, and we'll head downstairs. Mike McGivern all ready to go.
Hey, we're with Bobby Moore, State Patrol. Bobby Moore, Nicolay grad. Yeah, Nicolay guys do well sometimes. Thanks a lot for being part of Thursday Night Lights again.
Oh, no problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you talk to high school kids about. Zero in Wisconsin, big deal for you guys.
Very big for Wisconsin State Patrol and the DOT. We're promoting Zero in Wisconsin, and mainly what we're trying to do is get 0 deaths and 0 preventable injury crashes by education and by good role modeling. Examples of that is education about wearing a seatbelt. The seatbelt's the number one thing that keeps you inside the vehicle in a crash, and it's going to save your life. Texting and driving, distracted driving, the same thing. Education on that, and being role modeling as a parent when your kids are in the vehicle. Don't be texting and driving because they're going to do the same thing you do. Drinking and driving, it's another one that's causing a lot of crashes and deaths on the highways. And we nipped at all that stuff. We can make that goal of 0 in Wisconsin.
You know how important it is? I'll tell you this, man, when he talks about it, he's serious about it. Don't have him behind you if you're texting and driving or if you don't click it and ticket. You know what? Make sure you take care of that. Sir, thank you so much again.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Back up to the booth, boys.
Mike, Bobby, thank you very much. Oh, we're very pleased to have First Bank Financial Center back as a sponsor of Thursday Night Lights here on My 24. And fortunately, they could not be here with us tonight, but they sent along this message.
First Bank Financial Center is a local community bank serving Southeast Wisconsin since 1859. I'm Craig Kuba, Vice President of Retail Lending. To date, we have 11 branches serving 9 different communities in the greater Milwaukee area. If you live in one of these towns, you know we are actively involved in each of these communities we serve. In fact, 80% of our employees participate in volunteer activities for local organizations. We take pride in knowing each and every one of our customers. So whether you have a free checking account, a home mortgage, or a small business, the local bankers at First Bank Financial Center will take the time to know you. Our employees greet you by name, not an account number. The next time you're in the neighborhood, stop by and see for yourself why we believe First Bank Financial Center is a little different than other banks. We are the one bank, one resource for all your banking needs.
Once again, thank you to First Bank Financial Center. Once again, our First Down sponsors this season on Thursday Night Lights. We're at halftime here in Oak Creek. The Franklin Sabres leading the Sussex Hamilton Chargers by 8. This is Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. My 24's Thursday Night Lights halftime report, sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Halftime here at Oak Creek, 17-9. The score, difference a fumble recovery and a turnover, capitalized for a touchdown, and then a missed extra point by the Chargers, the 8-point difference thus far through the first half of play. Once again, we head to the sidelines, and our sideline reporter, WSSP's Mike McGivern.
Hey, we're here with Scott McMullen. He's the admission advisor at Kaplan University. Scott, first, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Kaplan University.
Sure. Kaplan University is located downtown locally in Milwaukee. We've been around since 2009, and actually, Kaplan's been around for a whole since over 75 years. Our student base ranges from students right out of high school to working adults looking for advancement, looking for a career change. So that's a little bit about us.
There's a lot of choices for high school and beyond. People for continuing education. Tell us why Kaplan's the right choice.
No, great question. We offer associate, bachelor, master degree programs in Milwaukee, and the features that we have are mainly our online classes. We have small class sizes where individual students get more academic support, more support than they would normally get. We honestly put a lot of pride into that.
Hey, expense right now, a lot of people talking about how expensive it is to continue their education. I'm a parent, I know exactly how that is.
Yeah.
How does Kaplan do with that? And tell us about how you rate with the other schools.
Another great question. Kaplan is all about making school affordable. So we actually look at any kind of learning experience that you have for prior schooling. Work experience, we actually evaluate for credit. We also offer internal scholarships ranging from achievement scholarships to single parent scholarships. And then each student actually has their own financial aid advisor who will walk them through one-on-one, step by step to make sure that they're comfortable with their actual plan. So,
Scott, well done. Thank you so much. That's great information. Boys, back to you in the booth.
Thanks, guys.
Mike, Scott, thank you very much, and thank you to Kaplan this year, our Purple Zone sponsor throughout the season on My 24 Thursday Night Lights. 17-9, Franklin on top of Sussex Hamilton. We'll step out. We'll be back with more from Oak Creek right after this. Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. Franklin up by 8 at halftime here on our Season 4 opener of Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Once again, we head downstairs to Mr. Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, Shelly Runty here with me with Kayla's Crew. She's the founder of Kayla's Crew. I found out about Kayla's Crew about a month ago, and you know what? I'm all into this. This is a pretty great story. Trying to raise some money. Your daughter Kayla, about a year ago, passed on.
Yes.
And we're trying to raise some money for a playground over at the Rock in that facility of Franklin, correct?
Well, we're still working on land in Franklin.
Okay, tell us a little bit about what you're trying to accomplish.
We are going to build an all-accessible and all-inclusive playground in Franklin to include all abilities.
I got a chance to meet you a few weeks ago during a Broad Stop, And I have to be honest, I'm so touched by you and your story and what I hear about your daughter with Kayla, how many lives she touched in such a short amount of time.
Absolutely. She had friendships that really encouraged a lot of inclusive play, and she taught them compassion and patience. And it was a thing that we really want to share with the community through this playground.
So you can see I have a little fashion statement going on right here. There you go. Tell us a little bit about the blackout. The game next week, Greenfield and Franklin. I love this story because I love high school sports. Both teams have decided they're going to go raise some money for Kayla's crew.
Absolutely. Looks great on you, Mike. Looks great on you. Our goal is to black out the stadium. We are going to have so much energy from both Greendale and Franklin that we want to just have a blackout. So come on out. There's plenty of opportunity to get t-shirts. We're going to be at Pick and Save with some t-shirts this Saturday.
Hey, and Sports Radio 1250 going to be in Johnsonville, going to be selling brats before big tailgate party. Proceeds, all the proceeds going to Kayla's crew. I got to tell you guys, it can't go to a better place. Thank you so much. It's been great knowing you. I'm looking forward to the future and raising enough money for this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike.
You bet, Shelly. Back to you boys up in the booth.
Hey, Mike, if this radio and TV gig doesn't work out, male modeling certainly in your future.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
We thank Shelly Runty and that fine group, Kayla's crew, for that fundraising that they're taking place. Hopefully they'll black out that stadium. 8-point lead here for Franklin at the half. Really the difference early on in the ball game, the turnover on the second play from scrimmage, the fumble recovery by Casey Davis that set Franklin up in that first offensive series as we get set to look at our highlight package here from the first half. And after that first play after recovering the fumble, they get the toss play out here to Chad Walton, and it's great to Chad Walton back after missing all of last year because of injury.
Quarterback draw for the first down by the 5-yard line. And then the same play running the other way. Great block by Vince Hughes on the backside there, number 66. He gets position and caves that left side in. And not too crazy about the showboating there, but got the touchdown. This is the interception right here. Brett Bueller, great position. This is that play down the middle to Walton. They caught Hamilton in the stunt, sent a guy down the middle, then extra man out of the backfield, and that's very difficult to cover. Here is Isaiah Webb coming around the corner. Field goal by Brett Harvestine to make it 10-3.
Yep, that was his 32-yard attempt from the middle of the field.
Little fake to the left and throw back to the right. Pretty well covered, but he just couldn't find the ball. Looks like Plath on that one again. Then here's the touchdown to Nick Plath. Puts it at 16. They had the extra point, make it 17-3 at that time.
So take a look at the numbers here in that first half, and we said it was going to be a flip. We said one team's going to be pass heavy, the other team's going to be run heavy, and the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the turnovers have evened out. I think probably Hamilton's turnover is a little more fatal than the one that Franklin had, but right now I think I would say Hamilton has recovered real well. They were on their heels on defense for a good part of the first half, and they've recovered, and their offense is taking the pressure off them a little bit, and the defense is now going to be on the field first to start the second half.
Only one minor injury in that first half. Patrick Jean, the starting center for Hamilton, out of the ball game with the what appeared to be an ankle injury. As you get a look at Sean McGuire's numbers tonight, pretty nice night so far.
Yeah, that's a good start. A couple of defensive stats we've got here that Brett Bueller has got 8 tackles and a pick in the first half. That's a good season for some players right there. Kelton Corcoran's got 5 tackles on Franklin's side. Jake Hernandez 6 tackles, and Jared Carroll, we talked about in the opening, has 5 tackles as well. So players are making plays. It's a good game, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
McGuire warming up on the sideline. The 6'3 senior will take our final break here of the half. Back with third quarter action from Oak Creek High School. It's the Sabres over Sussex Hamilton 17-9 when we come back on Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. Giovanni Flores with the second half kickoff return out to the 15-yard line, and that's as far as he will get as the Sabres will start the third quarter with the football. Radcliffe in on the stop for the Sussex Hamilton Chargers. Again, we'd like to take an opportunity to thank the great folks at Economy Lift Rental for helping bring these great pictures to you tonight. They have provided the scissor lifts for our cameras this season, so for any aerial platform need, rental, sales, or service, call Mike and Sue at Economy Lift Rental or visit them online at economylifts.com or give them a call at 262-650-1882. First and 10, Franklin just short of the 25-yard line. And Flores will try and get the edge here. Back to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard or two out of that play.
Tackle 1 Minor.
Garrett Minor, linebacker on that right side, able to step up, make the play for the Chargers.
It was kind of a speed sweep type play that Brett Buehler again did a great job of coming up, taking on the blocker, and turning that play in so that Minor could make the tackle.
There go Twins left and right here with a single back. Chad Walton. Flores again will go in motion. This time they'll give it to Walton. Walton spinning his way forward, short of the 30-yard line, short of a first down. They'll bring up third and about 5 here for the Franklin Sabres. And once again, our thank you to First Bank Financial Center, our first down sponsor this season. First Bank Financial Center, one bank, one resource. 3rd and 5 upcoming for Franklin. Opening series, third quarter. They lead by 8. Single back is Walton. 4 receivers going out. And they'll fire it. Short hop, the receiver incomplete. Was thrown low.
Pass is incomplete.
And so Franklin will be forced to punt, as that was intended for Cal Roble, the intended receiver. And I'm sure McGuire would like to have that pass back as he was open, just threw it into the turf.
Sometimes he's as good as he is. Sometimes he gets his feet a little tangled up. He didn't really get his feet up under him and get anything on that throw, and he one-hopped it in there. So this is good for Hamilton. They needed to get a stop here early in the half now. Get some good field position here and maybe get that offense going again.
Austin Manning does the punting and the place kicking. Will punt this one away, and Isaiah Webb will let that one roll, and it will roll dead at the 33-yard line. So the Chargers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 33 early here in this third quarter, and Michael Barnes, their quarterback, will lead the offense back out along with Drew Patterson, who had quite a half in that first half, had that big run early in that second quarter. And
well, he's right on schedule. I think he had 98 yards and 13 carries. I think that comes out to be exactly 8 yards a carry, and that's what he averages. Had a penalty on that kick here. I'm not sure. I didn't see a signal.
On the Chargers.
So a penalty on the play. We'll get that to you in a moment. But first, a reminder, Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's, available streaming live online. All you have to do is log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. That's at my24milwaukee.com. There's a holding call during that punt, so this will push the Chargers back to their own 22-yard line. Be 1st and 10 here. Penalty marker on the play, and for second half, not getting off to a good start here for the Chargers.
No, they didn't field that punt, which is, I think, really important to do it. And I know it's the first game, and they're not used to that yet, probably, but they need to field that punt, and then Franklin got a good roll. Then they get the penalty added on, and now they got a 5-yard penalty to start the. They're looking at 1st and 15, backed up.
It's the 4th penalty of the night on the Chargers. 1st and 15. Ball will be spotted at the 17-yard line, far hash. Hamilton in the white jerseys tonight, as Barnes will lead them up under center. Patterson met at the line of scrimmage and may have eked out a yard or two. Wimmer once again in on the stop.
Yeah, Eric Wimmer nailed him right at the line of scrimmage. He was able to fall forward for a couple of yards, but they had that play sniffed out right away.
Patterson getting some looks by Air Force, Army. Beautiful shot of the rising moon.
Yeah, that is a beauty.
Sturgeon moon here in the month of August. 2nd down, 13. Play action. Barnes with some time. Now chased out of the pocket. Pump fakes once, will dump it out the sideline, incomplete. Isaiah Webb was the nearest receiver for Hamilton, as Barnes felt the pressure coming from behind that time and had to dump it off.
Yeah, I think what they actually were trying to do, they had the Wars in the split end on the back side was coming across on a post, and he was pretty deep and well covered, and Barnes ran out of room. All he could do was really dump it out of bounds and save the loss.
So 3rd and long here for the Chargers. All at their own 19-yard line. We'll give it to Webb. Webb with some running room across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. Pickup of about 8, short of the first down.
Well, that's a play they've added to their repertoire this year that they want to run a little bit more, try to take advantage of people keying on Patterson, and for the first time tonight, that was pretty effective.
Player limping off there.
Is that Carroll?
Yeah, that was Jared Carroll. A free safety limping off to the sideline here for Franklin. Barnes, the quarterback, doubles up as the punter. They'll run that spread punt. We're seeing more of that, both the high school and the small college level these days. Get this one away. Nearly blocked, but a good punt here as it will bounce at the 40, take a decent Hamilton roll. It'll roll inside the 20, still rolling down to the 17-yard line.
Well, that's why they do that, is because you can kick that low line drive and they can't field it, and you get a roll out of it, and that turns an average punt into a very good punt.
Well, a suspended lawyer is forced to enroll in a community college with a wacky staff and student body. Don't miss Community. Weeknights at 9 and 9:30 starting September 16th, right here on My 24.
That punt was good for 56
That was a 56-yard boot that time by Barnes. About 36 of it on the ground.
I was going to say a 30-yard kick and a 20-yard roll. 26-yard roll, I guess.
Franklin, their second possession here of the second half. McGuire will give to Walton. He's met immediately in the backfield. Once again, it was Figueroa, Bryce Figueroa. He had a pass deflected and a forced fumble in that first half, and Figueroa there.
He almost got the handoff on that one.
Nearly a tackle for a loss. It'll go as no gain.
No gain in the play.
So sets up second down and 10 for Franklin. Bryce Figueroa, 6'3", 247-pound senior. McGuire
corner
looks right, wants to flip it back left. Completion is made, and dancing his way out. Walton out across the 20-yard line at the 23. Cochran able to make the stop.
I don't know if they audibled to, but they had the perfect play call to go against that corner blitz, and somehow Hamilton was able to roll into it and cover it. I think maybe it was lucky. The call was just lucky and happened to be the right one, but.
Then Walton single back. 3 receivers split out to the right side here on third down. Third and about 3. McGuire with time. Wafts it out. Man out there. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. Nice catch at the 38-yard line by the receiver out there on the boundary. Let's take another look at that one. Meyer with a beautiful catch.
That was a long throw. That was Meyer. Couldn't tell if it was Meyer or Bell. 1 foot down. Yeah, he's got it. That's a great throw and catch. Yeah, that is Austin Meyer.
Austin Meyer, his 3rd reception tonight. Picks up a first bank first down here for the Franklin Sabres, just short of their own 40-yard line. McGuire again from the gun. 3 receivers left side this time. Walton with the take. Stumbles his way across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. John Phillips able to make the stop. We talked about Phillips earlier, coming back from a back injury last year, actually a fractured vertebrae suffered last season, and he's battled his way all the way back into the starting lineup on defense here for the Chargers.
And we were talking to Lewis Brown, the Franklin coach this week, and he said he thought his receivers were actually better this year than they were last year, and that's hard to argue with. They've got 4 or 5 guys that catch everything they can touch.
Walton at single back once again. McGuire, deep drop. Has time, steps up, going over the middle, and it is incomplete. Looking for a flag, late one thrown. It'll be an interference call. There was contact as Meyer was trying to haul that one in out near the 37-yard line.
So now they changed the rule this year. It's not an automatic first down. It's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, and they replay the down, I believe.
Be a defensive pass interference. They'll step it off from the line of scrimmage, and in this instance it will be a first down as they will step off the 15-yard. But I like the rule change because you get a team late in the game facing like a 3rd and 30, and you get an interference call and a jump ball, and it would be an automatic first down, so that team would get the extra set of downs as time would be running out. And I know both coaches expressed that, saying games could be decided with that type of situation.
The high school penalty is not nearly as stiff as the pro penalty. Pro penalty, you get the ball
at the
spot, which doesn't make any sense to me. But high school now, I think they've evened it up, and on offense, you don't lose a down anymore.
Meyer again leaping grab to the near sideline and out of bounds with the reception at the 26-yard line. 16-yard pickup. Meyer with the catch. Watkins able to push him out.
Well, again, we saw them working on these out patterns in practice, and their timing is very good right now.
So Meyer with 5 receptions now on the evening as McGuire rolling right. Now looking to throw, makes the catch, touchdown Franklin. Robbie Bell with the touchdown reception, the 6'1 senior. Saw action in a couple of games last year, gets his first touchdown reception of the season.
Now that was well executed. The outside receiver occupied his man, and Bell was able to get inside position on Brett Bueller, who's had a really good night. And there wasn't much he could do. He just came down and broke to the outside and had all kinds of green grass to run to, and McGuire put the ball right on the money.
Austin Manning for the extra point. Alec Jakubowski on the snap. Kuski with the hold, and the kick is through.
Kick is good. The Sabres.
Well, that was a good drive for
24-9
Franklin.
As they've opened up a 3-score lead here on the Hamilton Chargers. We'll head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, Sarah Unertl, she's the athletic and activities director, Franklin High School. Sarah, thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, so we're playing at Oak Creek. How did that happen?
Oh, Oak Creek has been fantastic. They really opened up their stadium to us. Athletic Director Greg Glampy has been fantastic in the whole process. It's been seamless. So we really thank the Oak Creek community for allowing us to host our game here tonight.
Hey, Sarah's husband's a teacher at Oak Creek. What happens? He's the principal at Oak Creek. I want to know what happens when Oak Creek and Franklin play.
Oh, we have a few bets. Who does the laundry? Who does the dishes? It's fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to be a heck of a game later on in the year. Sarah, again, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Back to you boys up in the booth.
All right, Mike, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. And a lot of construction going on over at Franklin High School. We were over there, Tuesday, directing traffic in the midst of practice, weren't we?
People asking us how to get to the soccer game. We were there to watch football practice.
Webb will take it on one hop across the 10. Out across the 25, has some room to the 30, out to the 34-yard line. 24-yard run return. Will Watkins actually with the return. Mike Davis on the stop. And so Chargers with decent field position here, but now trailing.
Actually on the kickoff. Even the one they fumbled, they got it back out to the 20-yard line. They've gotten themselves good field position. Now they need to answer here, otherwise they could get in trouble.
7 plays, minute and a half. Taken off the clock. They go 83 yards, and a touchdown reception by Robbie Bell. 26-yard reception. We'll keep it on the ground here as Patterson pulls his way forward across the 42nd effort to the 43-yard line, just short of a first down.
So, well, that's what they're going to have to do. He's the guy that's going to make it happen. We talked about McGuire in the pregame that Franklin will go as far as he can take him. I think you could say the same thing probably for Hamilton. They're going to be able to go as far as Drew Patterson can take him.
August Beck was in on that tackle coming out. Looks like he's a little dinged up. Gain of 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2 for Hamilton. All at their own 43-yard line. They trail at 24-9 here midway through this third quarter. They'll run the fake to Patterson. Barnes will keep it. He'll get the first down, a first bank first down out to midfield. On a good fake that time, carried out by Michael Barnes. Eric Wimmer credited with the tackle.
Just a simple dive option play, and the quarterback turned up and kept it because nobody nobody played him.
Who's got that responsibility on that
It's
dive option?
probably a defensive end out there. Although in a 3-5, it might be the outside linebacker. Depends on if they were switching or not.
Barnes wants to air it out, going over the middle, and it's overthrown. Incomplete. Looking for Ryan Warzon. Warzon, a three-sport athlete at Hamilton, a 6'2", 187-pound senior. Plays both football, basketball, and baseball.
Yeah. He was he had position. It wasn't there was a DB running with him, but he did have position. It is possible to get that throw in there, but that didn't quite connect.
2nd and 10 from midfield. Patterson, the single back, will get the call. He is met at the line, driven back for a loss. Nice play. Jake Fernandez, the senior inside linebacker, there to make the play behind the line of scrimmage, and he was a busy man last year. 58 tackles, 4 tackles for losses last season.
Yeah, and he missed a few games last year with injury too. So he's kind of an inspirational leader. Nobody works harder on the team, according to Coach Brown, than he does, and I think that shows in how he plays the game.
Well, now facing a 3rd and 10 from midfield. Barnes will work in under center, sends the wing in motion, and then we got penalty once again here. Isaiah Webb jumping across the line.
Infraction goes against the Chargers. 5-yard penalty.
In Canada, that wouldn't be a penalty probably, but in Oak Creek it is, because you can't have 2 guys moving.
Ball is now.
Been watching a little of that Canadian football, eh?
No, I don't really, because I don't I don't understand what a rouge is or whatever they do up there. I thought rouge was something you put on your face. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a roux. I don't know.
That's something you eat, I think.
Yeah.
That's something you make.
Yeah,
in the
that's
pan,
true.
isn't it?
Make gravy.
3rd and 15. I think we're going to get some. We got the clock situation.
Yeah, to reset the
set up.
clock again. Yeah.
So I think that's what the delay is here. Is they're going to reset the clock. It appeared the clock was rolling as the penalty was being doled out. I think that's the 6th penalty tonight on Hamilton, and I know head coach John D'Amato not going to be pleased with that lapse tonight by the Chargers, even though it is the first game. Well, they have struggled here to start this second half after making a nice stop late in that second quarter and getting that touchdown to cut the deficit to 8 on the missed extra point.
Well, it's the way they started the game. You know, if you're going to start every half this way, it could be it's an uphill battle.
It's going to be an interesting mix out in that Greater Metro Conference this year.
I don't think there's any real clear-cut favorite. I believe Hamilton's one of the favorites. I think Menominee Falls has got some potential as well, and I think Brookfield East might be a bit better than people think they're going to be.
Barnes was under pressure, had to throw that one away. Wimmer was out there flushing him out of the pocket that time, bringing up 4th down. Good play by Wimmer. Forced Barnes to throw that one early and away. Let's get a good look at Lewis Brown, the head football coach at Franklin.
17 years as the head wrestling coach, and when he got the head football coaching job, he gave that position up. Been at the school for 21 years, so he knows the ropes.
Robbie Bell standing inside the 30-yard line. Barnes again with that spread punt, got that one away. Another low line drive that Bell will take at the 20, and he's wrapped up immediately. Good hustle on special teams. Brett Bueller doubling up on special teams, getting down the field for the tackle at the 21-yard line. So that's where Franklin will get things started here with 5:02 to play in this third quarter. We'll step out and take a break. You are watching Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's on My 24. From 1 yard out. And Hamilton needing to regroup here in a hurry as Coach D'Amato has his troops gathered around him.
Well, he's talking to his offense, and I think he's telling them we've got to go out. We just can't go out there and run 3 plays and give it back to them. Their defense is reeling right now. They're probably tired, and the offense needs to hold up their end of the deal.
Well, be sure to listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Football Coaches Show every Saturday from 10 to noon. Mike McGivern and Joe Cook talked to some of the best coaches in the area. This week's guest is Patrick Wagner from Milwaukee Riverside. That's this Saturday at 10, only on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP.
Well,
Riverside with a big
good
game.
One, yeah.
They have a big game tomorrow night. They play Catholic Memorial tomorrow night.
Well, Patrick does a great job.
Returned by Isaiah Webb.
Manning's kick returned.
Out to about the 25-yard line by Webb, and that's where Hamilton will get things started here. Trailing now 31-9.
Well, this is where they're getting a little trouble. They're not a passing team. They do have a passing attack, but they're just not going to drop back and pick you apart like Franklin is able to do. And so they probably, I think, will try to get 1st and 10s, keep the clock running here. And
yeah, they need to extend a drive here to give that defense a little bit of a breather. From their own 25, Barnes will turn and give to the wingman coming around the near side. Alec McShane trying to get the edge on the left side. Jared Caro in on the stop for Franklin.
Interesting to see if they keep Patterson in the game, since he's coming off of although it doesn't look like he's bothered by his ankle, but he's coming off an ankle injury.
Yeah,
I think he's still there, it looks like.
Yeah, he's still in there.
Yes,
he's the single back.
Yep.
2nd and 6.
Counter.
And they'll run that little counter play. Once again, Webb for the first down across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. Nice run that time by Isaiah Webb on the counter play. Brought down again by Carroll for Franklin.
Well, that's what's known as an inside counter. The back comes in between the quarterback and the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback reverse pivots. It's an old wing T play. And I think they probably should run that a little bit more, because that's been successful tonight, and it takes the heat off of Patterson a little bit.
From the 37, 1st and 10. Barnes will keep it. Hit hard at the 40-yard line. Coughed up the ball. It's loose at the 40-yard line. They dive for it.
Might have been down.
As he got hit, the helmet came in contact with the football. Carroll says it's Franklin football, and the officials say it'll be Franklin football. Carroll on the fumble recovery.
Thought he might have been down. We don't have a real good angle here, so it's going to be hard to tell.
On the fumble recovery for Franklin.
Just had it stripped right out of his arm.
Yeah, you're right. It was out.
It changed hands a couple of times, and you see Carroll, the last man to dive into that pile, able to come up with the fumble recovery. Jared Carroll, the senior, with a big night on defense. 2nd takeaway tonight by the Franklin defense.
Oh, this really hurts.
They can put it to bed here early on this drive. And Walton will try around the right side, 25-20. Breaks a tackle inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. Chad Walton, the senior, brought down by Cochran. Walton, who missed all of last year because of an ankle injury, with a big burst over the right side.
Well, they caved that right side or left side of the defense in. Good block downfield. Get a few extra yards.
McGuire on the scramble. Now sets his feet, dumps it off, completes to the far side. Inside the 5, spinning his way down to the 3-yard line, Giovanni Flores, the 5'9" junior. His 3rd catch tonight. Flores will set up a 1st and goal.
It'll be 2nd down.
Just shy of the 1st down. Sean Cody, along with John Phillips, finally to bring Flores down.
Well, Franklin makes you defense the whole field, and they've got the guys that can spread it out. They've got speed, quickness. They got a quarterback with an accurate arm, strong arm. That's a dangerous combination. Now they brought Chad Conyu in as a tight end. So he's lined up in the backfield, but they're going to use him as a blocker.
They'll give it to Walton, diving to the goal line. Touchdown, Franklin. Just like that, off the fumble recovery, 3 plays, and the Sabres back into the end zone.
Yeah, it's very well done. You could see Conyu coming inside and caving that in along with Vince Hughes, and Walton made a nice cut, juked the tackler, and was able to fall into the end zone.
Manning's extra point is wide to the right.
Kick is wide.
91 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. A 37-9 Sabre lead. 14 points off of turnovers tonight for Franklin.
That's tough right there.
And this is a team last year, Sussex Hamilton, they were a +10 on the turnover takeaway chart last year, so they don't turn the ball over that much. And tonight it's really hurt. It led to 14 points.
Well, I guess I'd have to say for Hamilton, it might be somewhat of a typical first game. You know, you got guys getting used to each other. You got a new quarterback who hasn't started a varsity game. He's played a few downs in the game when it didn't matter, and now they find themselves in a situation where they can't really run themselves back into the game. If they really want to try to get into the game, they're going to have to complete some passes, which is not what they do on a regular basis.
And you see how important the resurgence of Chad Walton will be for this Franklin team going forward. Missed all of last year, back as a featured tailback now, so that takes a little bit of that pressure off of McGuire when they need a little bit of the ground game.
Well, they've got three guys, Flores, Bell, and Austin Meyer, who all are slot receivers who are very good. Not only are they good at catching the ball, they're good at running with the ball after they have it in their hands.
Watkins with a nice return out to the 39-yard line. Will Watkins on the return. Kyle Cortez on special teams for Franklin, able to make the stop. It'll be a first down for the Chargers, just shy of the 40-yard line. Barnes will head back in at quarterback.
I think I saw number 7 come in. Let me just check that. Maybe not. Nope, that's Barnes.
And they'll give it.
Davis
able to take the football around the right side. Knack able to come up for the stop. Pickup of about 4 on the play. Sets up second down, 6 here for Sussex Hamilton in our final minute of this third quarter here in Oak Creek.
They have taken Drew Patterson out, though. They're not going to risk an injury now in a game that's really not,
McShane around the left side. It's shy of the first down. Eric Wimmer there to make the tackle.
Wimmer with the tackle. It'll be third down and 6 yards to go.
No gain on the play, so it'll set up a 3rd and 6. Wimmer coming out dinged up on that play. Going to get looked at here on the near sideline. As Barnes wants to throw. Pressure on. Gets away from one defender. Dumps it over the middle. It's incomplete.
Barnes' pass is incomplete.
Was looking that time for Warzon.
4th down.
Ball was thrown low, and so quickly a 4th down now for Hamilton. At their own 43-yard line. Stop the clock with 20 seconds to play here in the quarter.
Well, this is not what they wanted to do. They really wanted to keep the ball and get a couple first downs if they could and keep that clock running.
Barnes in that punt formation. Bell standing inside the 25, and it's going to be a fake as they'll toss it back to McShane. McShane going to get stopped short of the first down, actually fumbled the football, but he's short of the first down, and so the Sabres will take over on downs at the Charger 47-yard line. Well, try that spread punt, tried a little fake off of that, and the Sabres were ready for it as McShane got the little quick toss from the punter Barnes.
I'm not sure I would have done that there. It's a game that you're down by 28 points with 1 quarter to play. I'm not sure that that's going to get you back into the game. I would have saved it for later probably and punted it and hoped my defense could play better.
15 seconds to go in the quarter, and the Franklin offense will head back onto the field. Sean McGuire, I should say, back in there at quarterback. A couple of rushing touchdowns tonight. A couple via the air, and he'll keep it on the ground. Breaks a tackle and has some running room up the right side. McShane, or McGuire, I should say, with a nice run. John Phillips there to make the stop defensively. Both Phillips and Bueller tonight have been busy in that secondary for the Chargers.
Right. Well, it's not good when your defensive backs are making a lot of tackles, especially when they're downfield. And that's kind of where Hamilton finds himself right now.
Our third quarter will come to an end here in Oak Creek. Franklin dominating Sussex Hamilton here in the Season 4 opener of Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Franklin with a 37-9 lead over Sussex Hamilton. Back with the fourth after this on My 24. Sabres with a 1st and 10 to start this fourth quarter. John Weiser, Dick Basham, Mike McGivern, and Kara Opentesta back with you from Oak Creek High School. A home game for Franklin tonight. A lot of construction going on. New parking lot, new concession stand going up on the Franklin complex. And so the game was moved here to Oak Creek. We thank Greg Lampe and the Oak Creek staff for a job well done tonight, playing host tonight to this football game. First play from scrimmage in the fourth quarter. It's a run up the middle inside the 30. Tackle made by Phillips.
On the carry for the Sabres.
Gavin Beck was carrying, I believe.
Good for about 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
So Gavin Beck with his first carry tonight. So it would appear Chad Walton will get the fourth quarter off tonight as the featured running back for Franklin, as McGuire will work again from the gun. Beck the single back. And he'll get the call. Spins right side, 25-20. Breaks a tackle inside the 15. Still on his feet, but they say he stepped out of bounds. Nearly stepped out of a second tackle. He would have been in the end zone had he not stepped out of bounds. Cochran with the stop. And we're in the purple zone, being brought to you by Kaplan University, generally known as the red zone this season. When a team reaches inside their opponent's 20-yard line, we'll call it the purple zone. Brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought. And Franklin has purple all over their shoes tonight. They've been in that zone quite a bit. As Beck again, 10-5 and out of bounds, just inside the 5-yard line. Ushered out once again by Cochran.
Out of bounds at the 5.
He seems to know what to do when he gets the ball.
Yes, he does.
He's run very well.
Flag on the play, it'll be holding.
I'm sure that's encouraging for the Franklin coaches.
Well, penalty on Franklin on that play. A holding call will negate that nice run by Beck. And I recall it's just the second penalty tonight on Franklin. Yeah. So talk about a debut on your season and not much laundry out on your side of the line. You got to be feeling pretty good if you're Coach Brown.
Ball moved back.
Well, I saw Austin Mitchell just kind of disappear inside, so I think that's where the holding was. He was the defensive end and kind of got thrown inside there.
Repeat, first down.
Shortened that corner, made the play a little bit easier.
Once again, Beck the single back. 2 receivers each side here for Sean McGuire. He'll just pitch it to Beck going the left side. Hamilton defense there and ready as they make the stop right at the line of scrimmage. And Bueller was in there once again.
2nd down.
Brett Bueller has had a fine evening.
He really
been
has,
a busy man. 11 tackles tonight, plus an interception.
Right.
Under consideration for perhaps one of our players of the game tonight. We'll discuss it among ourselves a little bit later.
Well, I know it'd be a lot different score than it is now if he wasn't back there.
2nd and 20 from the 23-yard line. Play action fake to Beck. They'll swing it out here to the near side to Bell. Bell with the reception down to the 20-yard line. Good job staying home defensively.
Yeah, that was well done.
Kanowski, I believe. Kanowski for Sussex Hamilton in on the stop.
Well, third.
So a short gain, so 3rd and about 17.
I think Franklin will be satisfied just to maybe get a little yardage and maybe take a shot at a field goal.
Well, the lineup trips to the left side. Single receiver to the right. Beck the single back. And they'll just give it to Beck. Picks his way up the middle inside the 15, inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Nice strong run there, time. Gain of about 9 on the play, maybe 10. Kanowski again able to make the stop, and it looks like the field goal unit going to come on here for the Sabres.
A 12-yard run.
This will be a 25-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. Austin Manning to attempt the field goal. Jakubowski will snap it. Kuski will be on the hold. Low snap. Kuski gets it down. Manning threw the football, and it is wide right. Timing messed up just a little bit. That snap came back a little low, and I'll give Kuski credit. He got it down, but the damage had been done as Manning rushed through it and missed it to the right.
Well, it's still good experience. The kicker has to learn to concentrate and have confidence in his holder that he's going to recover that low snap and get it up for him.
Once again, you can catch Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click onto the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find a complete game videos and photos from this season's games. That's all at my24milwaukee.com. Chargers will take over on their own 20-yard line, trailing 37-9.
New quarterback in is Dan Lanoa.
We're short a player here defensively. Let's see here.
The Sabres take a timeout.
So Franklin taking the timeout. So a timeout taken by Franklin. And it's about time we get the coaches now going to start emptying the bench just a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, right. To get our program out now to find the numbers of all these.
There's some happy humans here tonight. Coach John D'Amato, unfortunately not one of them here this evening. He's, I think, going to be a little bit disappointed.
Well, his team
the
will
mental
be
mistakes tonight.
Be very coachable next week.
Yep.
They do have a good team. They got some things to work out. They're playing a very good team. I think Franklin's been a little bit underestimated in the just in the preseason from what I've been able to read. I think they're a team that's well stocked. They have good people in every position, and if you don't have speed to cover the whole field, that's going to be a problem.
Dan Lanoa, the new quarterback, will hand it off. New tailback back there, or fullback, if you will. And that is Andrew Dower. Dower, a senior, 5'11", 181 pounds. Ryan Larson there to make the stop.
I think Franklin's a team also that's built to play on turf. And that's really, I think, has helped them tonight. I know that their district is talking about possibly putting a turf on their field, which I think would be a great idea with the style of play that they use.
Lanoa rolling out to his right, going to chuck it downfield. Has a man out there and makes the catch.
Okay,
nice
I thought he dropped
grab.
it,
Yeah,
he did.
Jacob Glendenning, I believe, is the receiver. Glendenning, the tight end, his first reception tonight. Let's have another look.
That was a really nice throw. Rolling to his right. Glendenning went down and out to the sideline and just dumped it out there, and he juggled a little bit, but he got control before he went out of bounds. Nice job.
They'll go for 31 yards and a first bank first down for the Chargers here, just across midfield from the Franklin 48. And the handoff, nowhere to go that time. Dower a little tangled up with the quarterback that time, Lanoa, and that kind of messed the timing up as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Plus the defensive line was in the backfield. That didn't help a lot either.
Ryan Larson credited with the tackle for Franklin. Gain of about 2, sets up a 2nd and 8. We talked a little bit about the greater metro. Figured Brookfield East, Hamilton, Menominee Falls figuring in that mix. That was a nice run up the right side that time. As on the carry.
A counter play again.
Yep. We'll have one more look here.
Kind of what's called used to be called a counter crisscross play. Yeah, right. Hand to the one back and hands back to the other back coming the other way.
I don't know if there's Anthony Gwynn may have been carrying that ball. I'm not sure. I don't have a 28 on my Charger roster.
I don't either. We must have the same roster.
Fumble on the play. Ball's picked up. Hamilton will keep possession here, but a huge loss on the play all the way back to the 46-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6. Kirk Spruer, Latron Kirk Spruer, a freshman, able to force that fumble.
Loss on the play, about 5. It'll be 4th.
Is that legal to have a freshman do
and
that?
7.
So 4th down.
That's a good-looking freshman, I'll tell you that.
Well, My 24 is my place for sports. If you're looking for more football, we've got it for you this season. Don't miss the excitement of ACC football. Saturday mornings at 11. That'll start next week, Saturday, August 31st, right here on My 24. Barnes just going to punt this one straight away. Nobody deep here for Franklin, so they'll let this one roll deep, and the Chargers will let it roll dead near the 3-yard line.
Barnes' punt down on the
6:06 to play here in this fourth quarter.
49-yard punt. It'll be 1st and 10.
And so Franklin backed up inside their own 5. Second time tonight they'll start a drive inside their own 5-yard line.
I think you're going to see a lot of new faces here on offense now too. So
it's like Josh Hossey's going to come in at quarterback. Another senior here for the
I thought he
Franklin.
looked good in practice the other day. He throws the ball really well. He's a good-sized kid, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, it is. Yeah, he's probably in a lot of other teams he'd be the starting quarterback.
From their own 3-yard line. 1st and 10. Franklin in control here, 37-9. And they're just going to hand it off. Beck with the carry across the 5 out to the 6-yard line.
I don't think you'll see it. They won't be throwing it down the field. They might throw a swing pass or something just to try to get a first down, but they're not. They have enough points to win, and they know that.
Gavin Beck, a 5'10 sophomore running back. Sean Cody credited with the tackle. But Southeast Conference, well, it depends on who you talk to. Everybody I've talked to down in the Racine Kenosha area really pointing at Horlick as maybe the dark horse in that league with the way they run their offense and their quarterback, Neal, coming back this year, a 3-year starter.
Well, they have a lot of good athletes. They have speed. They run an offense, the wing T, that's difficult to defend, especially when you have that combination of speed and a good quarterback who can go a lot of misdirection, bootlegs, and things like that. So that'll make it interesting. I think Oak Creek, the whole school here tonight, they were the champion last year, and I think they feel that they have a shot at it again.
I think you could toss all 3 teams in the mix there. Franklin, Oak Creek, Horlick.
Right.
Not sure what the Kenosha schools are going to show in that conference. Matt Rizzo taking over at Bradford High School
Indian
as the
Trails,
new coach.
the new school down there, I think may be somewhat of a dark horse because they're a little bit of an unknown.
And Beck will take the football across the 10 out to the 12-yard line. Bradford and Matt Rizzo watching tonight. They've got a tough opener tomorrow. They're out at Arrowhead to take on
that'll be tough.
The defending state champion, and from the looks of things, they are going to be the team to beat once again this year at Division I.
And we're going to have them on later in the year, actually on a Friday night game. We're going to out at Arrowhead. They play Waukesha West, and Arrowhead's homecoming, and that should be a very interesting game there. Next week we have Hartford at Germantown. Kind of a border rivalry there, even though it's a non-conference game. Germantown has an excellent quarterback, too. He's played last year as a sophomore. Very athletic young man. I'm looking forward to seeing him next week.
A punt will roll dead out at the 46-yard line. 34-yard kick, no return, and we will take our fourth quarter break right here. 3.5 to go here in this fourth quarter. It's been all Franklin here tonight. Sabres 37, Chargers 9. This Night Lights presented by Wendy's.
Hey guys, here with Greg Lampy. He's the athletic director at Oak Creek. He's been a coach, he's been a teacher, he's been in Oak Creek here for 37 years? 37 years. Thank you so much for letting us be here tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. When we helped Franklin out, they helped us out with their swim pool because our pool is under construction. Now we're just returning the favor.
You know what, Ty? I asked you if you miss coaching. You miss coaching a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. You know, this is what I love about high school sports. You know what? You guys came together, same conference, obviously big rivalry, but when you guys needed to step up, you stepped up, and I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. We have a very good communications with Franklin. They're our biggest rival. We have a heck of a dogfight when we play those guys in any sport. But you know what? We can help each other out. That's the best way to do it.
You know what, Class Act, Greg Lampy, athletic director at Oak Creek. Boys, back to you.
Yeah, special thanks to Greg and all his staff for opening up the campus here tonight for our football telecast. 2nd down and 6 upcoming here for the Chargers, and wrestled down immediately.
Lenoa on the keeper.
That was
Dan Lenoa kept it.
Yeah, Dan Lenoa kept it, and Brian Myers was there to make the stop.
Right.
It'll be 3rd and 2.
So the team's getting in all of their players here tonight.
Yeah, it's good. It's early in the season. Give these guys a chance to play. You never know. Somebody might do something that catches your eye, and you have some depth on your team, or they get more chance in practice.
We said Franklin off to Greendale next week, as Chargers will get a first down, and a nice carry by Tyler Davis. Davis, a junior, 5'7", 170, gets another first bank first down for the Chargers, brought down by Sal Colla. Hamilton opens up their home portion of their schedule next week against Milwaukee Morse Marshall. And then in week 3, they will host the conference opener in the Greater Metro Conference, hosting West Allis Central. We'll get them back on the air here in a couple of weeks. They'll be taking on Brookfield East in a game we'll televise here on My 24. As nice little scramble here by Lanoa. Inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line, but short of the first down. Dan Lanoa, the backup quarterback, able to scramble his way for an 8-yard gain. Latron Kirk Spruer, linebacker for Franklin, able to make the tackle.
I think 2 weeks from tonight we have Mukwonago and Waukesha West, and I think that's at Mukwonago. That should be a really good game as well. Those are two teams that are up there in the Classic 8 that will, under the right conditions, maybe have a chance to compete for that title.
And the Chargers will get a touchdown on Andrew Dower's 24-yard run.
Touchdown.
And Andrew Dower gets his first score of the year. Fullback, 5'11", 181 yards, or 181 pounds, a 35-yard touchdown run.
That was a nice run, well blocked.
Caught the end that time, crashing in the middle, and bounced it to the outside, and able to take it in for the score. The attempt for the extra point. They had missed one earlier. And Harvestine,
I think he got that one.
Yeah, he drilled that one. Kicked that one all the way up to South Milwaukee that time. Right. So just under a minute and a half remaining. A little more respectable with the score, 37-16. But the Chargers return home next week out at Stan Grove Field. Boy, they've done a nice job with that field renovation, have they not?
Yeah, they have a video scoreboard out there now, too. That's I don't see that in Wisconsin. You see that in Texas all the time, but you don't see that in Wisconsin very much. So they take a lot of pride. They have a nice facilities out there for all their different teams, for their youth teams. Their band has their own practice field even. There's the winner gets a ball tonight.
Yeah, the game ball for Thursday Night Lights 2013. That'll be presented to our winning team this year. So we'll get a nice, we'll get the score and for each team on there, and they'll be able to add that to the school's trophy case. Perhaps they'll let us sign it, you think? No?
Probably not.
Probably not, no. Well, yours is worth something. You're a Hall of Famer.
As far as I know, it's not worth anything. Interesting kickoff alignment that Hamilton uses here. That's to prevent people counting who's going to be blocking who. Little chip shot.
Yep, little short kick will be picked up and taken down immediately. Coming up on the play, Chad Walton thought his night was done, but needed him out there
back
for
there
that
just
purpose.
to handle it.
Yep. Took the knee, and Franklin will just run out the clock here. So these two teams played each other the last 2 years in the season opener.
Yeah.
They will split this short 2-game series. Hamilton winning last year, 31-21.
Well, one thing about it, when you play a good team, you find out what you have and what you don't have, and you have another non-conference game next week. So by the time you get to that third week and that first conference game, maybe you've plugged some of the holes and improved some of the things that need worked on. And I'm sure both coaches will look at the game that way. That there were some good things that happened, but we need to fix the things that aren't going to take us to the promised land, so to speak.
Beck.
Uh-oh,
breaks one. Beck
think
maybe off to the races. Gavin Beck. Nobody in his wake will take it all the way in for the touchdown. Gavin Beck.
79
79-yard touchdown rumble on the far sideline.
Player of the game.
That might just solve our problem.
Yeah,
that's our player of the game.
Yeah, right there, longest run of the night.
79 yards and just what would be
right
a
up
simple,
the middle of the field. One guy
broke
touched him.
one tackle
Figueroa
right there.
couldn't bring him down.
And he was off to the races. And if it weren't for the fence back there, he would keep on running through Puch Road all the way down to Ryan.
Yeah.
Kick for the extra point is on its way and good. 44-16 Franklin.
Well, I have to say I didn't think that would be the score tonight. I thought it would be a little bit closer. I know that Franklin, as explosive as they are, can do that to you, especially when you get down.
Well, you look back on this Hamilton team a season ago, making it to the playoffs. They averaged defensively just giving up 16 points a game.
This is not that. I'm not sure they're this poor on defense as the score might seem to indicate. They got some things to work on, but they played an awful good team tonight. I have to say I'm very impressed by Franklin. They do a lot of things really well.
Got a shot at John D'Amato, the head coach there for Sussex Hamilton on that far sideline, and in his 10th season now as head coach. The dean of coaches out in the Greater Metro Conference.
Well, and this Franklin staff has been together a long time. They've got some names that if you've been around Franklin, you know. John Pleva is their defensive coordinator. He had a son played a few years ago, is now playing at the University of Iowa. Lance Bartels, no, I'm not saying that right. The quarterback, Beretta. Lance Beretta, the quarterback a few years ago, is playing at Madison. Now he's a wide receiver there. His father's a coach here. Jeff Klemp, who was the head coach formerly, is still coaching on the staff. He's the quarterback coach. These guys have been together a long time. They know what they're doing. They know what they want to do, and kids buy into it, and they get it done.
Squib kick picked up by Will Watkins. Will take it all the way across the 20 out to the 22-yard line. Look like Parker Plume, sophomore reserve linebacker on special teams, able to make the play for Franklin. Well, for the Hamilton Chargers, they say the second game is the most improvement you're going to make all year is between that first and second game, and they'll get a look at this game film
and do that, right.
And coach these guys back up for their home game against Morse Marshall next week.
And non-conference games don't affect whether you get into playoffs or not. It's all what you do in the conference. You have to win them. If you have an odd number of games in your conference, you need to win a majority of those games. If you play an even number, then you have to. If you win 50-50, you might get in. If you win the majority, you'll get in.
Cola able to step up, make the tackle for Franklin. Look for this to be the final snap of our evening here, and Franklin will head into their game at Greendale next week at 1-0.
That's a good game. I'd pay money to see that game. Both teams throw the ball very, very well.
Lanoa fumbled the football. And for the third time tonight, the Chargers turn it over as Lanoa coughed it up, trying to get the edge on the far side. And 3 turnovers tonight by Hamilton. 2 of those cashed in for touchdowns, and Franklin will get out of here with a 44-16 victory. Cortez and Davis were both there right around the football as Lanoa made his cut up the right hash.
Well, I think this would go in and take a knee, and let's get out of here.
So we said Franklin at Greendale next week, and then they open up conference play in 2 weeks at Racine Horlick. Should be a pretty good ball game.
Yeah, that'll put one team in the driver's seat right away.
You know early on who's be sitting at the top of that conference. As quarterback will take a knee, John Hazy, and Franklin routs Sussex Hamilton here tonight by a final of 44-16. 14 points off turnovers tonight. And Sean McGuire with a pair of touchdown runs tonight. A couple of touchdown tosses as Coach Brown and Coach D'Amato meet at midfield.
Yeah.
So a rout by Franklin here tonight.
Yeah. They know they probably got beat by a better team. When you accept it and you move on and get better.
Your final here tonight from Oak Creek, Franklin 44 and the Sussex Hamilton Chargers 16. We'll be back with a post-game wrap-up from Oak Creek right after this timeout. You're watching Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's on My 24.